What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Where the Locals Sk8. I'm your host once again, OG Skate Show. This is a podcast where we get to know local skaters on and off the board. And of course, we always have the guys behind the ones and twos. We got Victor Castillo and David Peralta in the house.
What up, guys?
How you guys doing today?
We're doing great.
Good. Now, to introduce our guest today, we have Ron Resurreccion. Dude, how's it going, man?
It's going good.
I want to thank you for coming down, man.
I thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. First question I ask everybody is, what city are you repping?
Can I chime in real quick? Can I chime in?
Why?
I'm just excited, man.
Oh.
This guy supported our whole childhood. He didn't even know it yet.
Calm down. We'll get to you. All right. What city are you repping?
Nowadays, I'm repping Lakewood, California.
Lakewood?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I grew up in this area. I grew up in Norwalk.
Sick.
Went to school in Whittier.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm a local.
Nice.
I'm
You are a
definitely
local. Damn
yeah,
right.
Norwalk.
Yeah.
OG.
Yeah, nice. Well, you don't have to be a local in any. You could be a local in any area to be on this show. You know what I mean? We're just trying to promote anybody that's willing to come on the show.
Gotcha.
How did you start skating?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so an interesting time. This was late 80s.
Okay.
Cousin of mine, he had this wooden skateboard, and whatever, he didn't want it. It was a little like 70s wooden board with little metal wheels.
Yeah.
Gave it to my parents. I was like, Ronald and Raymond, that's my real name and my brother's name.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, they'll enjoy this. So gave it to us. My brother tried it for a little bit. He didn't really care for it.
Mm-hmm.
I would go in the backyard and just kind of ride it. I was a biker back then too, like a bicycle BMX.
Rad.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. That's the movie that got it all started.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just skate in the backyard. My parents, and I started to notice that I kind of enjoyed it. You know, I'm like, this is kind of it's fun, but I can also do it. It wasn't as difficult as riding a bike. I mean, like, as far as tricks wise, I could whatever
spin
turns
around.
Yeah. And I put a piece of plywood in my backyard. Now, keep in mind, only the plywood.
Right.
Just the plywood.
Right. So
on a wall. So, so it could fall down any second. So sometimes it would.
You had to have the right angle.
Yeah, I would have it on the right angle. It would start out like super steep, and then slowly but surely, and yeah. But anyways, that's what got it started. And then eventually I got another board, a ninja board from the La Mirada swap meet.
Sick.
Right here, yeah.
Shout out.
My parents got me that board. I was into ninjas, so they got me a ninja skateboard, swap meet special.
Yep.
And then from there, I got a real board. I went to a bike shop and saw Thrasher magazine.
Okay.
Saw the cool skateboards, and people were talking about it at school. Again, this is 80s, so skateboarding was starting to boom.
Right.
And then from there, I got my first skateboard and haven't stopped since.
Damn,
Yeah.
that is rad, man. That is rad, and not the BMX rad either. You know what I mean? So, did you start off goofy or regular? What were you skating?
So what I remember, that's a funny question, is I remember seeing, like, which one do I feel the most comfortable on?
Uh-huh.
So, and I think I figured out I was goofy.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm goofy in both ways, too.
Dope. Yeah, so because picking up the skateboard when you're a kid, man, that's everything. Because a lot of kids, like, sometimes they fall for the first time.
Sure.
And then they go,
that's it.
It's done. Yeah. So that's rad that you knew. And a lot of times, sometimes those swap meet boards, I mean, they could be discouraging too.
Yeah, it could deter you.
Yeah, because sometimes they don't roll as good, and then their parents don't really want to spend the feria to get you an expensive board if you're not going to keep up with it.
Right.
So that's rad, man. Of course, yeah. For us skaters out there, I think we know as soon as we get on a board.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hey, swap meet boards were, awesome. I got my first board was a swap meet board,
Yeah.
and it was like
most people
complete.
it was. It starts from somewhere, like a toy store
Or graphic. Something
Yeah.
cool. You
Yeah.
said a ninja board.
Yeah.
Like.
Because I was into ninjas back then, man. I don't know.
Who wasn't, man? I was in, Bruce Lee, everything.
Exactly.
I wanted ninja stars. I wanted the shoes.
Yeah.
I was trying to walk around the house quiet as hell.
My board came from a sports store called Champs. It used to be in the mall.
Yeah.
I remember I used to like going in there because they would have like basketball courts and golf, like you play virtual golf.
Yeah.
And I bought this fake board. It just had two sumo wrestler guys on it, or three sumo wrestler
You
guys
see?
on it.
Yeah.
But that's so rad.
Yeah.
That's so rad. Like, it starts from something random.
Right.
And it grew into this. Like
Yeah.
something that we didn't put down that we've all, like, now we're all here together.
Right.
Because of that, experience that we had.
Of
Definitely.
course,
Random
yeah.
skateboard to here we are sitting in a room talking
Yeah.
about skateboarding.
Yeah.
It's, rad. It's awesome.
It is. It
How
is.
many years later?
And for you kids out there that are still doing it, and look at us, we're a lot older than y'all, so we're still doing it, and just to let you know you can too. And if you keep yourself in shape, you'll probably do it a lot longer than I will. Hell yeah. So what would be your real first board that you remember, like going to a skate shop?
A Vision Gator.
A Vision
Yeah,
Gator?
Vision Gator.
Okay, so you got the wide one still back then.
Yeah. Well, I actually got it. That's when they started doing minis.
Okay.
Believe it or not. So they had
Oh.
minis, and the minis wasn't that small. Like if you compare it to now,
Okay.
the mini was just a little bit smaller than the regular. Because back then those boards were like 9-inch boards.
Yeah.
Maybe 10. I think. I don't know. They're huge.
Huge.
They're vert boards.
Right.
But they did have a mini for the little guys. But,
Right,
yeah,
right.
so I got that. The first skateboard that I wanted was a Psycho Stick. Do you remember Psycho Stick?
I've
No?
heard of
You
those.
remember that? They have them now. They remade them.
Okay.
And see, back then, you would see these graphics, and the graphics were just like, whoa.
Yeah.
It would draw you in, like, oh, I want that skateboard because
Right.
that's an amazing graphic. You know?
Right.
And I don't mean to say, oh, these nowadays it's different, but those days were different. Like you would see the graphics really meant something to you.
Right,
You're
because
like,
those graphics didn't change for a while.
for a
either.
while.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
you would see
knew
them for like
whose
5 years.
boards
Yeah.
they were.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, it's like when I was younger, I'd grow up and I'd have the CCS magazine, and
Yeah.
I would circle the boards I wanted just
Yeah,
for the
Oh,
graphics.
CCS.
exactly because
Yeah.
of the graphic.
Yeah.
Right.
So nowadays,
Didn't even
I
know the
don't
shape.
I
Just
think
wanted the graphic.
I think nowadays, and again, it's a changing time, but it's more about the skateboarder, which
Yeah.
that's cool too.
Right.
Support the skateboarder, but graphics really meant something back then.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Big time.
If you talk to people that grew up in that era, like, oh yeah, whatever, the Kevin Staub or the Tony Hawk or the whatever.
Even when I first got
Rob Roscoe.
my first pro board was a Sean Sheffy Plan B board, and
Oh,
it was
nice.
like the Cowardly Lion, and it
Oh,
had like
yeah.
a yellow brick road on it.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I remember that, and if I could find that board today, I'd purchase it for real.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like
eBay.
for me, being a kid, starting skating was always world industry.
Oh, yeah.
Being a kid, like, dude, I love those graphics.
See?
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
starts
You know,
somewhere.
World was infamous for
But then
such
I
good
started
graphics.
growing up, started seeing hookups. Like,
Oh,
girls,
yeah.
Like, I was like, wait,
Jeremy Klein never failed. he made many boys' imagination run wild.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Shout out.
Yeah. That was a great company. Or it is a great company.
All right.
Because of all those.
Now, when you grabbed that board, were you into all the vert skating for that board,
No,
or were you always
no.
like
I
in
mean,
the
well,
streets?
So yeah, that's another interesting question. So when we started, or when I started, I should say, all
Right.
the videos, because this was like videos were just getting started.
Mm-hmm.
All the videos were vert.
Right.
So I would watch nothing but vert skating. There was like
pool
ma-
and all that stuff
yeah,
too?
all of that. It was the NSA like videos. That's the only people that were putting out videos. The first video that like really stoked me out, like most people in that era, was Animal Chin.
Yeah.
So they had some street in that one,
Right.
but it was for the most part it was like vert.
Right.
So I'd be watching all these vert, videos, and I'm like, man, I hope I can do that one day,
Sick. Yeah.
But like a lot of skateboarders from my era, they were saying Lance Mountain in the very first video came out and like showed you, hey, you don't have to have a vert ramp to have fun. You can cruise around in the streets and skate the streets and have a good time. And that really meant meant something to a lot of people.
I remember
including
seeing
myself.
them showing them doing all the almost vert tricks, but like at a bus stop,
Right.
on a bus bench.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
doing all the ho-hos and all that stuff.
hand
and
plants and all
hand
that.
plants.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that was cool. Yeah, because, we would try to emulate the vert
Right,
guys because that's
right.
all we would see. But in the street, it was like, well, what can you do? You can do a
Right.
hand plant, and you can jump off a ramp like a little jump
Or
ramp.
they could
That's
get
it.
creative like you did and put a piece of plywood against something.
Yeah.
Dude, seriously, I did the same thing where I got into a point where I almost had that thing straight up. And,
Oh, wow.
And I could like pivot at the top of it
Nice.
too. But that's of course not when I was a kid, when I got good,
Right.
But I do remember that thing flexing, bouncing, and then that one time you roll up it and slap,
Yep.
it just slides right
Remember
down
that?
to the
That's
oh,
terrible.
yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah.
scary. It was terrifying. You're like, oh.
Just all your paint off your wall, like, oops, mom, sorry, but yeah, dude, those were the days, man. Just because for me, like, I I grew up in Whittier, and as you know, this is like a hole. You know, like no one gets out of here. So everything I learned is pretty much outside in that driveway, and I had to build everything I needed to shred. So, and it was fun doing it that way because it felt like, you know, like at that time they had that Built to Shred show on MTV. So it kind of felt like it was more street than like.
That's
like,
when you started?
I started back probably like in 12th grade. No, not 12th grade. I'm sorry. When I was 12 or 13 in junior high.
What year is that?
That going the summer to high school, I was probably like in 92, 93.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is like when it was like tagging hip hop, and I was kind of like in between because that's how you can. I'm still in between. Obviously, skate show, right? Right. You know, so I liked all that bad stuff, but I wanted to hang out and do all the fun stuff too. And I didn't like the bad stuff when you got in trouble.
Right.
You know, those consequences were worse than being over here in the streets and just getting yelled at by a cop telling you to leave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's better than getting handcuffs on you, you know?
Yeah.
So I really was drawn more to skateboarding because it felt safe and the people were rad. You know what I mean? The people that I hung out with were always cool. So
very accepting. That's
very accepting.
That's the thing that I like about skateboarding is we're a community. We're all a bunch of misfits. You know, we might not all like have grown up the same way, but
none of us.
In the end, we're all family. We're all community, and it's like we're all welcome to each other.
Yeah, I like that.
That's
Right?
what I like. That's what trips me out. You know, what's like the people I met with skateboarding, different ages, different races, different countries.
Oh, yeah.
The other day I was at Avocado Park, and I was skating with some dude from Spain, just visiting from Spain. And then I just communicated with him because he did a sick trick. I was like, I give him props. And like, things you know, we get to know each other, and then like, like you know, any spots from here. I'm from Barcelona. I'm like, well, I never knew. You know, like just the communication. You know, never know where a person's from.
Yeah, you never know. And you know, because of this piece of wood with wheels, you know, we get to meet people from all over the world. Yeah, you know, we all have this common thing.
Oh, yeah.
I think with skateboarding is one thing that we don't judge you for anything.
Absolutely.
Any way you look, any way you are. You skate. Yeah. Cool. Let's go have a fun time.
Right.
If you're cool,
you gotta be cool. You gotta be cool. You know, you can't be a kook or whatever. You know, but
I'm just saying. You know,
for the most part,
if you're if we meet and we're vibing, next thing you know, like, hey, man, come by on a skate station.
Sure.
That's how it always turns out.
That's the greatest thing ever because again, not to knock real life, but in the real world out there, it's not like that.
Yeah, hell no.
Most people are looking, judging, and don't want to affiliate with you because of something, and it's like that's crazy.
Like I drive a Toyota. I'm not waving at another guy in a Toyota. He's not gonna give me that love. You know what I mean? But if I'm on a skateboard and I see another skating, we're like, hey, what's up? Do a kickflip. You know, whatever. You know, like it's different. You know what I mean? Because we share that bond. You know, but not everybody has that, you know?
And then, like, all it takes is give someone props.
Oh, yeah.
And look at
and then you just, become friends and take it from there.
You know?
I met so many people. I met so many people just based on a session and even acknowledging somebody there or just being at the same session as somebody. I mean, all over the world. Yeah. All over the world. I've met people coming from here or me going over there. I've built a lot of, like, friendships because of skateboards.
Yeah.
And, without boasting, I'm saying I'm so stoked that, and so not privileged. Don't want to say that word. Yeah. I'm grateful that happened.
Oh, yeah.
Super grateful that I was able to meet all these cool people, like everyone in this room here.
Yeah. That's how I felt yesterday because I went to that new pump track in Inglewood.
Oh.
And just being there, like, I was there with a couple homies. Next thing you know.
He went with one of the guys that was on the show.
Oh, nice.
He met up with them.
Yeah, and then, like, we're sitting there, and then, like, these older dudes just start talking to us like, hey, what's up, man? What brings you here? Oh, I'm from here. I've done this. I know this person. I'm like, oh, dude. It's so cool. And then one dude, he lost the bolt to his kingpin. And I was like, hey, dude, I got an extra pair of scrap trucks in my car. I can shoot you you can scrap them.
Yeah.
And he was all hyped. And he's like, next thing you know,
I always keep spare
parts. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Shout outs to Bill.
Yeah. I always keep spare bearings, spare a bunch of stuff because you never know. Like somebody has they lose their little bolt coming off their wheel or something. I got you, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It might not be a pretty bolt, but it's gonna get you through your day.
Yeah.
You know? Hell yeah, that's what's up.
It was like those times where like we needed to buy a board and they're like look for Ron Resurreccion. I would never meet you, but now I met you. Now
we're gonna get there.
So crazy.
Like now I'm just saying like never met you in person, but this is the first time. But I wouldn't,
That's cool, man.
That's cool. I love that story.
Yeah.
I hear those stories all the time, and it's rad. I'm like, oh really?
Well,
That's rad.
It's like me. I was shocked. Like I didn't know you were like up there and skating. I thought you were just some dude selling boards.
Just some dude selling boards.
And then I found you on Instagram, and then I saw all your like past stuff, like your 401s, and I was like, no way, we were like buying boards off this dude out of the trunk of his car at a dealership. Out of all places,
I tell people, I said I have an interesting story.
Let's go.
People don't know. No, I'm just saying, like people.
Yeah. Oh yeah, people don't know your story. Oh yeah,
this
selling boards out of a Nissan dealership.
They said, well, what do you do? I said, you don't have enough time.
Me being 14 and just being new to skateboarding and like my friends telling me about someone at a dealership selling boards, good condition, like only skated once or twice.
Yeah.
I would buy like 2 or 3 and like.
Were these boards that you skated or just?
Boards that I skated.
Oh, that's cool.
I always try to because I'm blessed to get skateboards and
sick.
If I had some extra ones, here.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I sold them pretty cheap, right?
Yeah, definitely did.
I'm like, I'm not.
One week's of lunch money would have got you a board.
Yeah.
$15 for a board, only skated for one day.
Yeah.
Like still had all his layers.
still had some graphic on it.
And they were good quality boards too.
I'm trying to think of who I rode for back then because I know it was. I was still getting.
Well, who did you start riding for first? Was it a skate shop thing or?
It's the very first sponsor that I had. Let me think here. I rode. Gosh, it's hard to remember. I rode for Pipeline. If you remember Pipeline, no. Pipeline was a original skateboard park in Upland.
I know the park.
Right. Yeah. That's like from the 80s.
Right.
A lot of skateboarders grew up there. Chris Miller, Salva, Malva, everybody in the Upland area. But I rode for the shop. Jean Hoffman and her husband had the shop. They used to run Castle.
Oh, the Castle contest.
Yeah, Castle contest.
Sick.
And Jean, she's like, oh, Ron, I want you to ride for the shop. I'm like, does that mean free entry? She's like, of course.
Oh,
I'm
damn.
like, so every contest was paid for because she was the person, that was checking you in and dealing with the sponsors. So I was always hooked up. But the funny thing is I only got to skate 3 contests under the shop because I got sponsored instantly after that time.
Dope.
And so my first. I used to ride for a company called Public, which was Eddie Radigi. He would give me boards.
That's a cool
name. It was a cool company. Chet Thomas was on.
Okay.
Chanita was on.
Okay.
A couple people were on. And then I got on a company called Liberty, not the skate shop, but there was an actual skateboard company called Liberty.
I think that was the boards we used to buy. Liberties.
No, couldn't have been because that was a long time ago.
Okay.
I'll remember. Eventually, I'll remember. I think I was getting world boards back then too. I gotta remember. That was like that was kind of the time when I wasn't really skating as often. I was like, oh, I gotta work now. I gotta make some money. And this is right before my daughter was born. So like
you had to hustle.
Yeah, and so I really had to hustle. But I wasn't skating as often as I would have liked to. Plus, a lot of people weren't skating at that time. There wasn't a lot of skate parks. And street skating was hard to do when you're working.
Yeah.
How old were you at this point?
At that time, I was in my 20s, so I was just right before maybe 20, 21, maybe. Yeah. So also, as any 21-year-old would do, he's out there partying and doing stuff like that. So that's what I was doing.
Right.
So I wasn't skating as often. But did I answer your question? No. The first real legitimate sponsor that I got that really hooked me up and I was with for a long time was a company called Channel One, which was Acme and Channel One. Again, this is all before your guy. Oh no!
I don't remember Channel One.
Okay,
I remember Acme.
You remember Acme?
Yeah. Well, because I like to sit there sometimes and watch old school skate videos.
Good.
So
yeah,
I run into these and I was like, oh okay.
That's good. Know your history.
Yeah.
Know your skateboard history. It helps, and then you go, oh, you can appreciate like where it came from before. Even me, I say that, and I look before my time, and I grew up in the 80s.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I looked at 70s. I'm like, oh wow, this is interesting.
Right.
What helped me a lot was this website called Skate Video Site.
Yes, that's not online anymore, huh? Though
it's online.
Is it still there?
It's online. It's just now you don't really have too much the option of to watch the videos like they used to, where they used to have a link. You could just push the link because it'll say watch now. Now it's just now you can see the video, the credits, what music was used.
Right, but it doesn't have the actual video.
Yeah.
Because I remember that. I would go to that all the time. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm a skate nerd, so I'd be like, ooh, I want to watch this video. Ooh, I want to watch this video. But they stopped having the.
I remember I found so many good videos. I watched a foundation tour where it wasn't even a real skate video. It was just like someone just
Barbarians at the Gate.
Yeah, it was just them pointing and shooting. And they were in Vegas.
Yep, Barbarians at the Gate. Dude, that was a great video. Some underage girls were in that video, but it's a great video.
Yeah.
Are we past 10 minutes?
Yeah, it was a good. It was like the first kind of Jackass style type video. Show you what happens behind the scenes. Like I don't think there was any skateboarding in it.
No, it was just like shenanigans all day long.
It was Heath Kirchart and Josh Beagle.
Yeah.
Going off and doing their thing. Originally, it was Ronnie Krieger and Josh Beagle going off to do their thing.
And I think Ronnie Krieger, or was it Ronnie Krieger who left earlier?
He left, yeah.
And then they just
brought
flew
in Heath. They brought in Heath because Heath got on the company. So yeah. But just shenanigans. It was great.
Yeah, that's why I love that website, dude. I used to watch so much skate history on there. That's how I learned about. I think that's even how I found out about you when I was just roaming through old 401 videos because I sat there one time. I was like, I'm gonna watch from episode 1 to so on.
Yeah. That's. I wish they would make another site like that. So, people
with all the original music too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's
because a lot of stuff like you'd be watching videos nowadays and. Either the
flagged.
It's either like
gone.
Yeah, you'd be watching a cool video and either they change the music, or the music is just completely gone and you just have to watch it in like mute.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the cool part about that thing too is like you can go in there and type a song, and it'll show you every video.
Oh, right, totally. Yep, totally. Well,
that's good to know.
I use that site still for like I have. Oh, what was that song that so and so skated to? Like I do that now.
Yeah.
And it'll show me like boom right here. Like
that's dope.
Richard Mulder's song in the chocolate video was. Whatever.
I just did that the other day with Mark Appleyard's part because I was typing in that song "Hole" and it wouldn't pop up on my thing. And I was like, "What's the full name?"
Right. Yeah. That's what I was saying. I do that too.
It doesn't populate itself.
I'm not alone here.
Yeah. I'll put in like a chorus and he'll find it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Those days you're just I have the words to the song but I can't remember it.
Right. Yeah, and I'm terrible with names with music. I'm terrible with names in general, but names with music. People are like, do you remember that song? Who's the artist? Like,
yeah.
Man,
if you play it, I'll know it. Yeah.
I don't even know. No. So like Gangstar. Remember Gangstar?
I do, but I didn't really like if I heard some of his music. Like if you told me, oh, do you know that song? I probably don't. And then and if you play it, I go, yeah.
That's how I am though.
Yeah.
Like
I've heard that.
Gangstar Guru was one of my favorite MCs, right? Ask me the name of the song. I have no idea, man. I know Soliloquy of Chaos and Code of the Streets, and then everything else. I'm like, I don't know, but I know if you play it.
Yeah.
I know this. I know.
You know what's funny? I grew up in as I got older, I grew up into the metal scene, and a lot of the metalheads were like, "Well, who did this and this?" I was like, I'm like, well, you know what? I don't know who did it, but if you play it, I'll bet I'll be like, I know the lyrics and everything to it.
Yeah. It's just you have to be super nerd about it and not nerd in a derogatory way.
Well, of course
you have to really be like into it to know like stuff like that.
And sometimes I get upset with people because they try to quiz you. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna give you the time of day for this.
Right.
Yeah. I enjoy what I do.
Right.
I don't like
those quizzers. So it's all right. I mean, if you know, that's cool. It's fine. Like let me just be.
Let you live.
Let me be.
Let me live.
So you said Acme or what was the company?
So Channel One was the first one. So yeah, Channel One was. So I was supposed to get on Acme, and then they said, no, Marty wants you on Channel 1, which was a great choice. I was thankful for that because people were like, no, Channel 1 was awesome. Because it was a smaller squad.
Are you Flow or the
No,
you're Pro?
I was Flow for like, whatever, like a month or something.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because back then you're on.
Oh, you're on?
Yeah, but they had to just try me out.
Yeah.
Here's a funny story about that, about getting on. So they took my video there. They've watched it and they're like, all right, so they want to give you boards. And then a week later, like, hey, wait a second. Ron's goofy footed, huh? I said, yeah. So most of the stuff they did in there was switched. it was like, yeah. Because that video probably had a lot of Switch, and this is 1992.
Well, this is when Switch was getting popular.
Or
was it?
Getting popular, but I, I did a lot of Switch tricks that, like...
Dope.
Yeah, so they couldn't tell, which is good and bad. But it got me on the team. They're like, man, Ron did it out. And back then, I did a lot of nollie and Switch tricks, so I was excited.
So we're talking about the original Stefan Janowski right
here. Take that, but it was during the time when it was getting to a point of being like popular, but not popular yet. I always took pride in doing something, like ahead. Yeah. I always like to do that,
right.
All right, everybody's doing this. Let me try to do something
different.
Not try, but I just felt like always progression for me is key. So, okay, everyone's doing whatever back 50, so let me try nollie something.
Yeah.
Right.
So I took a lot of pride in it.
That's cool. And that's and once people start seeing you do that, then they're gonna step up their game too, because they're gonna be like, "Damn, Ron's killing it right now!" Like, damn, gotta step it up.
Well, I mean, in a skate video as a kid, that's what you look at, and you're like, "All right, my favorite pro did that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to learn his trick and then make it better."
Mm-hmm. So we all did, yeah. So I mean, when I see skaters nowadays dress as their favorite skaters, I go, I can't knock them. I did that, We all did that. We used to go to these castle contests back in the days. And whatever the newest video that was out,
everybody
you would see everybody like, for example, Colin McKay for Virtual Reality. And back then it was like bleach blonde hair, white T-shirt, blue jeans, and white all white shoes.
Yeah.
The next contest after Virtual Reality, everybody looked like that. in Tim and Henry's Pack of Lies, Henry was wearing all this plaid, shirts and stuff, and again bleach blonde hair and baggy pants. Next contest, everyone's wearing plaid shirts, bleach blonde hair, etc. It was pretty crazy. Or like in the girl videos.
Yeah, or when Baker came out.
Oh, when Baker came out,
everybody's tight pants.
Went black, tighter pants, Americas. It was crazy.
Oh, the trends are real. The trends are real.
I can relate to that too, because when New Blood came out, I went straight Chris Cole.
Zero. Yeah,
I went straight Chris Cole.
It's awesome. Yeah. Because you get inspired by these videos and
I feel like a lot has to do like. Even though you didn't get to see their personality behind the scenes, it's like their music tells you a lot about who they are, the part, the way they skate, and then sometimes you can relate because some of your friends will tell you, "Oh, you kind of look like you skate like this dude."
Yeah,
and then you're like, "Let me go check him out."
You get inspired, and it
can happen.
Forms in your actual skateboarding, from your inspirations. That's just how it is.
Skateboarding didn't show the personality back in the day,
Yeah.
Like, for example, Bam was one of my favorites too, Like, he had Viva La Bam, Jackass, and his skateboarding was sick. He was one of the top dudes.
Yeah.
But when Baker 3 came out, that's in 2005, when I started skating, I was like, dude, I want to be like these guys,
Gnarly.
Yeah.
That's a gnarly one.
I know.
Throw me off the cliff right now.
I actually was like that too.
That's cool.
I actually just, a really underrated video that I really like a lot. I just finished watching it with these guys again. We were watching Destroying America. Dude, that's one of my favorite Jeremy Klein and Keith Fairchards.
That video there is kind of like another original Jackass, because that was before Jackass. That was a long time ago.
I feel like that's like the add-on to the end.
Yeah,
it's what happened, because it can't. It's like, at the end how Jeremy and he jump off the pier, and then it shows after that's when Destroying America comes in.
That's when those videos came out after I stopped skating. So, I missed a lot of that stuff. And then what happened was my little brother started getting into skating with his buddy. And I was watching them outside, and I was like, look at these guys. Like, let me build, like, these guys don't even have a rail. Like, you guys don't know how to make a rail. I made a rail.
Nice.
Oh, the next thing you know, they're showing me, like, videos and stuff. Like, S came out with that Minik Madi.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell happened to skateboarding, dude? Like, these fools are insane now.
Yeah.
So it made me, like, pick up a board and inspired me again, Like, I was like, well, and this, plus having them outside in the driveway all day, I'm like, let me show you guys what's up, So it was cool.
It sounds like the jump that skateboarding took from early 2004 to being hash to then here comes the Kai Fully Flared, where you're just going insane on ledges and you're watching these dudes just in and out of tricks.
Well, what was great about that time because skateboarding truly used to have like a definitive line.
Yeah.
Like either you're fresh or you're hash.
Yeah.
Right.
There was specifically that. And actually people oh, you're a hash dude, like you only do like
Jumping
big
down
gaps
stairs
and
all
like
that.
handrails, and you can't flip your board now, or like then when you're talking about, like it was still kind of like that, where it's like, yeah, you're a tech dude,
Yeah.
or zero dude, you're
Yeah.
either a tech or, girl or zero, basically.
Yeah.
was the comparisons. But interesting now is like you can look like a hash dude and just be super tech or whatever. You skate everything. Nowadays you skate everything.
Oh yeah.
You even look like a cholo. And
Mhm.
just kidding. No, but that's
It's still
awesome.
out there.
That's
It's still
awesome.
out there.
I mean, shit. Like
Yeah,
I
the
don't look like
Pendletons.
I remember seeing videos on YouTube like, is this skater a cholo or is this guy like a hash dude, a
Right.
punker rocker dude, and
Right,
they'll
right.
try to compare
Yeah,
the
yeah.
skaters,
Yeah.
But now, yeah, it's all blended together.
Well, I mean,
There is no-
it even happened to me through skating because I used to be straight hash, jump down the biggest things I
Yeah.
could. Eventually, my knees give out, and
Right.
I'm just like, now I go to a park and I'm like, I want to skate this mellow ledge, but I want to learn how to do this and flip out of it, or
Yeah.
I want to learn how to get technical.
So you gotta change your clothes now.
No. I'll still wear lip and tight pants and bleach
Yeah.
blonde hair. And,
Yeah, there's
I
no
almost
judgment
bleached
no
my
more.
hair on the way here. That's a
Uh-oh.
true story. I
Uh-oh.
almost did it today, but instead I shaved it.
All right.
But I almost did. I was like, fuck it, dude. I don't care.
Yeah.
Bleach
That's
my
the
hair
skater
again.
in you right there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best part about being a skater. You just do what you want.
Do
People
what
be
you
like,
want.
my roommates were making fun of my braids, and I'm like, you know what? I do it because it's comfortable.
Do what you want. That's
what you want.
that's the one thing that you can learn about skateboarding too, is that you do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Some people are so afraid to,
Mm-hmm.
just be them and do what makes them happy. And
Right.
It's just crazy.
Pressure flip.
That sucks. that sucks that like you feel restrained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of society.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
you feel like you're gonna
yeah.
be judged or
Yeah. No. Skateboarding's like, fuck. I'm gonna do whatever I want.
Yeah.
That's why I'm thankful for skateboarding. My parents all my life were like, do this, you got to go this way, you got to go that
See?
way.
That's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
So my life has to be dictated by you.
Yeah.
Right. Mm.
Like even my own daughter, I when she does what she wants, and I go, this is your life. She says, where do you think I should go to school, Dad? I go, where you want to go.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, my only rule with her is that as long as it doesn't hurt anybody, and you respect people,
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's it. Just be.
That's
just
what I tell. That's
yeah.
what I tell people
Sort
too. Like when I talk to like younger kids, I'm like, look, you get one life in life. If you living for someone else, at the end of the day, you're not gonna be happy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're better off. It's your life. You only get one shot at it. Do what you want to do and do what makes you
wanna
happy.
do.
Just do it in a way where, like how you said, you don't hurt people. You're not disrespectful.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you're doing good things in the world.
Yeah.
Just be good. That's it.
Yeah,
You'll
man.
be fine.
We take a pause right there.
Yeah, we can take a break.
Take a little pause right there.
All right.
All right. Now, Channel 1. Okay, I want to get back to that because what happened during that? Like, how did you leave that, or how did you get to the next place?
Okay, so Channel 1 I was with, again, from 93 till about 96.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 years, which for me, that felt like...
That's a good time.
It was a good long time.
Right.
But for me, it felt like forever.
Right.
3 years. But
It's a long time.
in that time, 93 to 95, I graduated in 95. And 95, that was maybe 16 or 17. And like most teenagers,
Mhm.
you start discovering other things, girls,
Oh, that destroyed my skating.
partying, I mean, all that stuff that any normal teenager would
Right.
discover.
Exactly.
And so I started neglecting the board and kind of taking it for granted a little bit, unfortunately.
Right.
I'm disappointed in what I did, but I'm also thankful for it because
Of course.
it
Makes you
showed
who
me
you are
It
today.
made me who I am.
Yeah.
Because I came back to it. That's
Right.
the whole thing.
Right.
A lot of my friends kept skating, throughout that time, and yeah, they got some shine, but then they got over it quicker than I did.
Right.
I still skate.
Right.
Some of them quit because they,
Mm.
you do something for so long, you get over it. So,
Right.
certain people.
Some,
Depends
yeah.
on the person. But, so in 95, again, I think I had a girlfriend, started partying, again, I'm full-blown, like, Filipino guy, lowered cars, and partying, DJing, the whole nine. And
Sounds fun to me.
so there were like, hey, what's up with Ron? Is he still skating or what's going on?
Yeah.
I would still skate the contest, so that's the only reason why I still stayed on.
And they were still sending you product?
They were still sending me product because they would see that I would place in the contests. But I wouldn't really skate. I would only skate at the contest because I'm like, oh, contest coming up. I'm going to skate it, see all my friends.
Yeah.
Right? But then after the contest, I wouldn't really
go street skating. It was almost like going to another party, too. Seeing all your homies.
Exactly.
Like,
see all the skate homies
and
then never see them after, after a while. But so eventually, there was a team manager at Channel 1. Actually, listen to this. This is an interesting story.
Okay.
This guy, Christian Jacobs, who is the creator of Aquabats and Yo Gabba Gabba.
Oh, shit.
What?
Yo Gabba Gabba. Yeah, he's a skateboarder.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys knew that.
Mm-mm.
But he was my team manager for a brief moment. And actually, he's got a lot of history in skateboarding. He helped with the blind video, et cetera, et cetera. Anyways, so he it was his job to keep the team together. So I wasn't really producing anything, and so I got kicked off, actually.
Wow.
I mean, and it was my fault.
Right.
I mean, I was literally not skateboarding. I was getting free product. I was like, hey, send me some stuff, and I would be selling them.
Were they expecting for you to send them a video or anything, or just be on your board?
Just do something.
Just do something.
Besides, and even then, I stopped skating contests. There was a time when I just wasn't even interested in skateboarding.
Okay.
And that's what
it does happen.
I've quit a few times, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, what happened too?
I wouldn't say use the word quit. You stopped.
I stopped.
Right.
Yes. Right. Good.
Right.
Good. Yeah, I stopped skateboarding. I just got interested in other things.
Right.
Plus, what happened too?
And that's okay sometimes.
In '93, I shattered my ankle.
Oh, that's not okay.
Yeah, so it was. I wasn't able to jump down stuff anymore.
Right.
So then again, you start doing extracurricular activities, and start getting, again, like any teenager, you get interested in other things.
Right.
But thankfully, I started just skateboarding kind of again, and I think some friends of mine were like, hey man, you really need to skate again.
That's all it takes.
Yeah.
Some homies to call you out a little bit. Yeah.
And yeah, that's it. Called me out, talking shit.
Yeah. Hey,
and I started
get back on the
again.
board. You look a little fat over there. Oh damn, am I? Shit.
It was so, but and I came back swinging. I got back on the board. I got another sponsor, which was great.
Yeah.
Actually, I wrote for Fucked. Remember Fucked? F-U-C-T.
That does. Yes, I do.
Okay. That was so that was a company that was big in the '90s. It was a clothing company.
Right.
F-U-C-T. And then they actually made boards. They're right out of here, Whittier.
Sick.
Right out of here.
There was a rumor that there was somebody making boards out of here.
Well, it was a big company. It was huge.
Wow.
Fuck was huge.
Wow.
If you look at the '90s, everybody had fucked shorts, fucked pants. Yeah. It was a huge company. And anyways, the guys over here.
F-U-C-T.
F-U-C-T.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Don't flag us.
I remember having a sweater that my mom bought at a Goodwill or something.
Yeah.
Back in the day, one of
and
the
she
stores.
She let you wear that?
It was a white one with the red words. Fuck.
It
wouldn't spell like the bad word. It was spelled different.
I know. Yeah. Well, you guys.
Well, I didn't know what it was. I was just wearing it.
I mean, you got to think of it as a Mexican mom. She's like, well, there's no K. There's no K, so we're fine.
As a Mexican mom, she just wants to buy whatever for herself.
Yeah, of course. That's cool.
But yeah, I was thankful to come back and see my friends again, and that's what it really was.
Yeah,
coming back together with the homies and having a good time skateboarding, and something sparked though that back then. I'll tell you an interesting story about how I got back into skateboarding. I didn't feel ready to come back, and be with everybody again, because I'm like, oh man, I'm not really as good as I used to be, So I plan to kind of segregate myself and skate by myself until I was ready to be back in front of everybody, because again, I was disappointed in myself.
Right.
So I went and skated the Cerritos Mall. You guys know Cerritos Mall?
Yeah.
Okay. So the Cerritos Mall, there was some red curbs at this abandoned Bank of America. And I was like, okay, I'll start here. I'll start skating flat ground again. And there's some ledges there too, so I can kind of start messing around. Well, I would skate there really, really late at night, so nobody could see me, right? But so some friends of mine who also sponsored skateboarders back then Rob G, Rich Caldwell, and all these dudes. They happen to be driving by. And like, hey, Ron Resurreccion.
Yeah.
And so they drove by, like, hey, man, you still skate? I was like, oh, you caught me, you know, like.
Yeah.
But they're like, dude, come out and skate with us. So they started bringing me back out. But going back to that curb story, I want to tell this story.
Yeah.
That helped me to learn a lot of my tricks and new tricks that I didn't even know how to do. Switch crooks, fake it crooks, and like nollie flip no slides again. But you know, you have to start from a foundation. You have to start small. Right. You know, because your brain, and all skateboarders will attest to this, you're like, oh no, I know how to do it. You know, because I used to do it like that.
Muscle
no,
memory.
It's not like that. You have to, if you're starting again, it's best to start from a foundation. Like, start flat ground again.
That's one reason why they take slams, because they don't start small. They just go straight out.
Exactly. Like, oh no, I can do it. I used to do this. Yeah, your body doesn't. Your mind might know it, but your body doesn't remember it.
I can vouch for that, because after 2 knee surgeries, coming back in, and it's like
you just want to go out and do shit.
It's like, no, I go to skate parks and I skate, and I get frustrated because I'm like, I know I can do this, but I'm like, no, take it small, because I don't want to blow out another knee real quick.
Build
up.
Like I seen a kid like yesterday at the skate park just trying to do the 8.
Right.
But he was getting like no speed at all. I'm like, hey bro, you might want to catch a little bit more speed.
Yeah,
like, no, I've done it before. I was like, all right man, with that speed.
Yeah.
Like he popped it, but tapped the last stair.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he got it. Yeah, pretty much like start small, you know.
Start small. I mean, just and what I used to say is found flat ground. Flat ground is key, because that will teach your or give you control.
Right.
You good board control, then you can pretty much do everything.
Right.
You know. But yeah, I was thankful for starting out that way. You know, because again, in your mind, you're like, oh, I could do this, do this, do this, but your body's like, no, you can't. Not after a while. Just like any basketball player, basketball players, you know, professional basketball players, they still go and practice, you know, shooting.
Of course, they have to.
Even though they're professional, they get paid for it. But you have to keep doing that, because don't do something for a while and see if you're any good at it.
See me back on the golf course.
It's like you gotta break out that stiffness after not doing it for so long.
Yeah.
It's like you sit stagnant for so long, everything starts to lock up on you.
Sure.
And then it's like stretching out. You need to start stretching out again.
Like, you can take a week off of skateboarding.
Oh yeah.
Fuck, I don't know how to skate.
Sometimes for me though, sometimes a day break is good, because like
you have to have
you know, because like a few
older,
days or so, because there'll be times where I'm like skating every day, and one day I'm on, and the next day I'm like, I can't get those tricks again, and I'm like, all right, well maybe a few days go by, and the next thing you know I'm like locked in again. I'm like, I wonder what it is. You know, you never know. You know.
I would say the one thing that I would recommend to any skater is become an all-around skater.
Yeah.
Learn how to skate some transition, because
you can do that nowadays, but back then I didn't really have that option.
Because I'm saying, now because you got the parks.
Right.
But I mean, it helps you, because those days you can't skate street, at least you can go to the transition.
Sure.
And you're gonna have some low impact skating, because you can just do stalls, some slashes.
Right.
And then those days you want to be fucking hash, you go, I'm gonna try to learn how to frontside air. Right. I'm gonna try to kickflip down the stair set, or kickflip into a rail.
You know, that kind of like when you said about the shooting of basketball players, like reminds me of Kobe Bryant, like rest in peace. But dude, there's a picture of him with a cast at 4 a.m. in his pajamas.
See,
he's still shooting.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. And then, like,
golfers, basketball players. I mean, people.
I was on crutches, and I still was like doing one-footed tricks on my skateboard, just popping nollies, like popping them, learning how to flick it, like.
I remember when I would roll my ankles, or and I couldn't skate regular, because I was regular, so I couldn't use my flick foot. I was like, you know what? Time to learn switch. Yeah. So I could at least pop with my rolled ankle.
Yeah.
But now I was like, I gotta learn switch flip, all this, and it'll help me get good at switch.
Yeah.
Dude,
you gotta
find a way. Blessing and a curse.
When I broke my ankle, the doctor's like, yeah, you gotta stay off your board. You know, I was in a cast, but me being young and I couldn't stay off my board, because that's what I loved. You know, like
crazy.
I have clips of me skating in the cast doing blunt to fake at Westwood, with screws in there.
Yes.
Thank God, like nothing really happened. You know.
You see, that's what skateboarders do. We're resilient.
Yeah.
We're gonna do. You know, somebody tells us no, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
No means yes to us.
Yeah. Well, like a soccer player gets a little injury and he's like crying on the field. I'm
dude,
like,
that's the funniest.
all
thing.
the dramaticness and everything.
Get
I'm like,
out of here with that. They go watch the skateboarders video part. Watch Chris Cole.
Yeah.
You know,
and he just
360
splits. You know, and he's just running back up the stairs trying to get it again.
I seen a meme of that on social media of like a basketball player, a soccer player all hurt, and then a skater like getting up one more try.
one more try.
Yeah.
I was talking to someone who I think they're like a scientist. They're all like, you know that the impact the skater takes every time they slam down a stair sets is like getting hit by a car.
Oh wow.
So they're all like, you take the same amount of impact as getting hit by a car.
Wow.
Just jumping down a set of stairs.
I guess you're
It's
right.
a whole car, but yeah, I mean, it's very. I mean, I think.
Well, imagine jumping down a 10 stair.
I mean,
and
without your board, I can see that. Like every time you just your feet slam when you bail, I think that's worse than landing on your board. Your board kind of gives a little bit with the wood and the flexing and everything. And
I mean, when you're landing on your head, but when you're just like,
when you slam,
but if you're just hitting ground,
they're saying like it's the same. You're taking the same impact as you getting hit by a car.
Sure.
And I was like, damn. So I've been hit over 100,000 times by a car.
That's what makes it strong. Yeah, I skated this bank in Redondo Beach called Burl. It was a famous spot from back in the day, and whatever. I was doing a 360 shove it in the top. Mm-hmm. That day, I was like really sore, and I'm like, why am I sore? I just skated a bank.
Yeah.
And my buddy's like, dude, when you go up and you jump off of that, you're pretty much like jumping off of a 10 stair. I didn't even put that together. I was like, I guess you're right. So all the times that I jumped off the board and jumped out, because it's a super steep bank.
Right.
That's like me jumping
And
down a
you're going
set of
back to
stairs.
flat.
Yeah.
And I couldn't understand why I was sore. Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, you get so even if you skate like that, like you're getting sore.
It's crazy how like the science and the physics behind it is, because it's like you'll skate a small spot and you'll leave the next day sore and you'll be like, why am I so sore? But then if you really put it together and you understand the physics to it. Because I remember I watched this Greg Lutzka thing where they did a whole physics thing where they broke down the whole skateboarding into physics, and I was like, wow, I just understood skateboarding on a whole other level.
Interesting. Well, look at those people that do the PX90, all those like workouts.
Yeah.
Right. That's what they're doing, and I'm not trying to compare the two between skateboarding and us, but they're doing a lot of stuff that we're doing. So like jumping up onto the thing, jumping off, jumping up on the thing, jumping off. That's a workout. Yeah. Right. Yeah. We do that for fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We jump and we ollie and grind.
It's like those dudes that sit there and they jump on the block. Like
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That they do that. You know, like, oh, how high can I jump? They try to jump up as high as they can onto this block. We're doing that anyways.
Yeah.
How many times? Hundreds.
Yeah.
Hundreds of times.
You think of it. You
in
go
one
out
session.
You can go out and skate for like 4 or 5 hours, right?
Right.
You're doing it longer than they're doing it for.
Sure.
Yeah.
Could be.
100%. That's why I say, you know, like we're different animals.
Yeah.
Skateboarders.
Those wheels actually make
animals.
a difference. So like just rolling around and pushing somewhere, and like you don't realize how much exercise you are doing. But like I've been to certain parks where you have to push more because they don't have as much transition. And those days you might be more sore that day, but then the ones with the transition that flow, like some days you go home like, damn, I actually was pretty good because you didn't really have to work as hard to get somewhere.
Yeah. Right.
You know, but those pumps can be.
That's a workout.
Oh yeah.
That pump track that you guys talk about.
Well,
that's a workout.
I only got. Yesterday when I went there, I only got like 10 runs. Before I was just like my legs. I walked away, my legs shaking. I was like, I need to go eat. I need to go do something. Yeah. I can't skate no more.
We're oh yeah,
I think we're more like as skateboarders. We're a little bit more than like artists or like like mathematics or like because everything
we do it all.
Everything in one.
Your brain. Yeah. That's why I said skateboarders' brains are different than the normal person.
Right.
You know, we we observe things differently. Right. That's true. Everything.
You know.
Average person goes down the street, doesn't look at, there's a ledge right there. I can do this there. Oh, and then you see how the hill's inclined or whatever. You know, they don't see that. Yeah. They see house. They see structure.
Landscape.
They see landscape.
They see a handrail.
They're not even looking.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, their whole thing is getting from point A to point B. Ours, while we're going from point A to point B, we're going to be looking at this, looking at that, looking at this, looking at that. And that goes for the rest of our lives. So that's why, again, we're different people. Even if we stop skateboarding, completely, which hopefully we don't ever do.
No, we won't. Exactly, dude. The way we look at the scenery is so much different than everybody else because me driving down the street, I could barely drive my own car because everything's a spot to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I love that about us.
I mean, this is why I hate driving and I'd rather be passenger.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I drive here, every day I find a new spot. Just driving to do the podcast, I'm driving, I'm like, oh. And I'm like, oh, almost crashed. Whoa.
That
Pay attention.
could be dangerous.
Pay attention.
Hell yeah.
No, there'll be times too where like you're just driving and like, dude, you see a sick spot, so you bust a U-turn, and just pause, check it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's so great. That's so, and it's nobody's gonna understand that. No average person, sports guy, whatever, is gonna understand that about.
I'm a little different. Like if I see a spot, there's been times where I've seen a spot like for days on my way to work, and I go, I'm gonna stop there one day. Finally, I like on a Saturday, I'm like, all right, there's no traffic. I don't have to worry about what time I gotta be home. I'm like, let me pull over to the spot, and I'm like, I was disappointed. It's not a good spot, but at least I pulled over. At least I pulled over and tried and checked it out, and you know what I mean. But from a visual, I go, man, that looks like it could be a spot. But unless you pull over, you're gonna never know. Yeah, man, that's the best.
I can say this too as a skateboarder. The one greatest invention that was ever made by the iPhone was being able to pin your spots.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
If you go on a skater's Apple Maps, you're gonna see a bunch of thousands of pins with random names on them.
I think they have an app for spots now.
They
too.
do. It's Skate Spots
Skate
CA. At least for the California version. Actually, a buddy of mine, he created that.
Okay.
Dope.
Yeah, they're like, hey, talk to your buddy, see if he can give me. I go, you got to pay for it, man. I go, I had to pay for it.
Oh damn!
Right.
But
it's
speaking of that, what we used to do, and this was something I learned from videographers.
Thomas guides?
No, that was the first one.
That was
Thomas
the first
guides.
one.
We would highlight or circle.
Right.
No, but we would take pictures, Polaroids of spots, because just before we had the regular cameras.
Like
Polaroid of spots. You had an album of spots.
yeah. Oh, like a
so
book.
the iPhone is a great invention. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I remember playing a video game where that was a thing.
Yeah.
It would show you like
It was.
Polaroids in there of the spot,
yeah.
or of the goal you had to do in the video game.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
so it'd be like a Polaroid and it had a little description to the side of it.
Yeah.
So I was like, dude,
That's what we used to do. That was a great invention too, because
Yeah.
you would have to like, hey, like, because this is no internet,
Right.
no
No
MapQuest.
cell phones.
You would. Somebody would have to tell you. You'd have to write it down.
Right.
Yeah.
And you'd have to try to find a spot. I mean, imagine all those spots that you would have to try to.
You know,
You
see
have to
the
go
Jack
down
in
the
Box?
hill.
Yeah, I see the
Yeah.
Jack in the Box. Make a right.
You have to go. Yeah, you have to make a right. There's like a homeless dude right there.
And then there's a funky looking
Exactly.
fire hydrant in the corner,
Yeah.
so that's how you know you're
That's
there.
really how we used to have to describe spots, man.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, and you could try to like explain it like to take the bus because a lot of skateboarders don't have cars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't have a car, so so you'd have to find which bus could take you to that spot and then try to find it.
So I think that's the one thing missing out of skate culture nowadays. Because when me and him grew up, it was like, hey, we're all gonna wake up at 6 a.m. Meet at this bus stop. We gotta take all these buses to get to downtown LA.
But that's so rad. That's an adventure.
That
Yeah.
is an
That's what we
adventure.
used to do. That's awesome.
Dude,
Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
And then there's even a time too where I messed my ankle up at the library gap, and these dudes
First
took
spot.
their
First
first
spot
spot we
was
showed
library
up to.
gap.
I blew my ankle out.
Ah.
But my homies took the time to have me sit on my board and push me around the
nice.
city with
Dude,
them.
that's
And
We
then,
nice.
took all the way to Wilshire.
Yeah.
We found Wilshire. We're like, what? There's people skating right here.
and I'm sitting there with the blown ankle, but I'm just like in the background. Go, you guys can
Yeah,
do
you gotta
whatever
be
you
hype,
can.
man.
Sick, dude.
Yep.
But weren't those bus days the raddest days
Man.
ever?
I miss
They're the
those.
best.
Those were the days you'd buy the day pass, and the
Yeah.
homie you couldn't afford it, you'd be like passing it out the window,
Yeah.
be like, hey, here,
Damn.
here.
Dude.
I
And
remember
you
our
get
buses-
like 20
days.
dudes
our
on the
buses were
bus.
like a quarter or something like that back in the day.
Yeah.
Like drop
Yep.
a couple cents in there.
I think it was 35 cents or something like that. 45
My
cents.
friend would be like, just put something in there.
Yeah.
They'll let you on.
Yeah. I remember those days. You just be like, oh, that's all I have.
Yeah.
The bus
That's
driver
right.
just
I'm
get
so
on it.
appreciative of those days, man.
Yeah.
The bus days. We would take like 10 buses. It would take 2 hours to get to Venice.
Fuck.
We would do, that's a
Yeah.
true story.
Damn.
2 hours to get to Venice.
Yeah.
Because you have to take the bus. They would
Jump
go there.
jump from bus to bus to
Yeah,
bus to bus.
yeah, super like multiple transfers,
really does.
and then when you get there, then you're like, I don't know where the things are. We would have to try to go to Venice High School.
Right.
Venice High School used to be a skate spot, skate spot.
Oh.
Yeah, it used to have hips. Nodis used to skate there. Bank to benches and like curbs and stuff in front.
Bank to benches.
But I always say like the buses were some of the best times of my life because you got to see everything.
Right.
You know, you're like,
you passing spots.
Yeah, well, not only you're passing spots, but you're going through different neighborhoods.
Right.
You know, neighborhoods you might not normally drive through, but because the bus has to go through that and make the stops, like you might find a spot on the way there, but also you're seeing this environment that you never you might not experience.
Right.
So it's cool.
It's like the culture.
Yeah.
And then you're more appreciative to skate the spot when you get there because you knew what it took to get there.
Yeah, definitely. Because you're like, when am I ready to come again?
Yeah.
I got to give it all I got.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a filmer that like you'll hop in the car with and just took you to spots, not knowing where you're going, but you'll be hyped to like hop in the car?
Oh yeah,
you know he's gonna take you to 6 spots.
Those are great individuals. When you have a filmer that knows, I've had filmers that are like, oh, I'm just here to film. I go, that's cool too. Like, come on.
I mean, I feel like that's another thing that's like underrated. No one really like shows too much love to the filmers because the filmers put in so much work.
They put as much work as you are as a skateboarder.
Because they also have the same love for skateboarding. It's just like something happens to them and they're like, well, I can't progress as far as you, but where I can jump down the big shit you can, but I still have a love for it where I at least want to document it. Or if we're going to go skate a little fun spot where I can just have fun, I'm going to go have fun with you.
Always gives the credit to the filmer because they're putting in a lot of work. That's not easy.
No.
Sitting there with you for, hours and hours on end in like the craziest positions or at the bottom of the stairs in the gutters and the, so I know people have said this before, but give them their props. Give them their credit. If you use a clip of theirs,
post them, tag them.
Yeah. Shout them out.
I can relate to it because as my knee surgeries happened, I transitioned more into like filming every now and then, and I started getting frustrated because I would have homies that wouldn't tag me, and I was like, dude, I really just sat there 3 hours filming you.
Yeah.
And I don't even get a little bit of credit. Like I'm like, I mean, it sounds selfish. I don't know if it sounds selfish, but it's just like
it's not. Give the credit where credit is due.
It's like we went to skate. You hit me up to go skate. I thought I was gonna go skate.
I made that trick look buttery as hell. You can't give me no props.
Well, to me, I was just like, you hit me up to go skate. I thought we were gonna go have fun and skate, but I ended up being your filmer now for 3 hours. Now when I get up after sitting in an awkward position, I'm like, I'm over it. I don't even want to skate. I don't even want to do it. I'm tired. I've been in that position.
Gotta give the.
Or I've been in the sun for like how long while you're just moving back and forth.
Right.
So kids,
this is my homage to all the filmers. Yeah. Show your filmers love.
Show your filmers love.
Especially when they're filming lines in the hot sun.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I would like always like hook them up with boards like for my package. Like here you go, man. And, like appreciate your filmers. Like
you got it. You have to.
They didn't ask for no money or anything. Like thank God. Like I never had a filmer that was like, oh, pay me to film you. Like I always had homies that wanted to film me.
It's awesome.
I was always cool to them,
And if they especially if they have a camera like that, they pay for that with their own money.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean nowadays it's SD cards, but that costs money. We used to film with
the high eights.
The high eight, the tapes. Those cost money.
Yeah.
And a lot of money. And you're going through that, and some people didn't appreciate that. I'm like, dude, they're spending their own money, taking their own time to film you. Appreciate them.
Yeah.
Appreciate the time and effort that they've done for you.
I even knew some. I guess you would call them some hood filmers. They would go into the store and somehow they're end up with tapes in their pocket. They end up with tapes in their pocket and be like, well, look at this. I found a pack of tapes in my pocket. But I mean, they were expensive.
Yeah. Yes.
It was expensive.
Very. I mean, they're like, I don't know. I can't remember now, but maybe $10 per tape.
Yeah, and then some dudes, I knew filmers who would just be like, well, I filmed it. I gave him this trick. I put it on something for him. I'm going to film over the same tape. And I'm just like, dude, it's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah. But you have to give the filmers their props.
Yeah.
That's a very,
shout
very
out to all the filmers.
There's filmers out there that actually take that as a job, They're charging you,
totally.
Like, you're not getting your footage unless you pay.
Sure.
And I heard a lot of stories.
Yeah. They put in their money and their effort, so they're going to want to get paid for it.
Yeah.
Especially if they're super sick, like Ty our Beagle.
Well, shout out to the homie Darn Shane. He's taught me a lot about filming.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's out in LBC, but he's taught me a lot.
What's his name?
Darn Shane.
Maybe newer dad.
Was that Shane from Footprint?
Yeah. Shane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's the coolest, most coolest dude I ever met. I still have to take him out frisbee golfing one of these days.
Yeah.
That's a cool sport.
Dude,
Frisbee golf?
I play it like crazy.
Wow.
That's a cool sport. I really enjoy that. Like, this is cool.
Dude, if you're ever down to go, let's set up a day.
I want to do that, dude. I
got some extra. I got extra disc in my car and everything, so we can play.
Dude, he takes me.
Yeah,
he's teaching me.
It's such a cool thing. Like,
Just relaxing.
Yeah, relaxing.
Walk around the park,
like
throw a couple of frisbees.
Yeah, well, it's like skateboarding. You can go out there, have a good time.
Yeah.
Every
drink,
course is different.
Drink, you can. I mean, I'm not saying if you smoke, you smoke. You can smoke.
Yeah. Yeah.
But even the community in frisbee golf is just as the same as skateboarding. It's just like skateboarding.
Nice.
You'll start throwing some random dude. Hey man, here, let me help you. Correct this, correct that.
Right.
Oh, what's your name? Cool. I'll see you next time.
Even if
awesome.
you lose your frisbee, they got your number. They'll return it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think about that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool.
All right. Did you grow up with what skate crew did you grow up with? Who was your boys back in the days?
Well, I've had quite a few, but to name a few of the bigger ones. So again, originally grown up in Norwalk.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I first started skateboarding. Like when I decided to
take it serious.
Yeah, not
a little serious, but have fun.
I got into it like heavily.
Yeah.
But I grew up with a bunch of guys in Norwalk, who I'm proud to say I'm still friends with.
Cool.
Danny Highfield, Ray Dominguez, my friend Adrian. Some of these guys still skate.
Cool.
But yeah, we used to have a little jump ramp crew. Those were the local guys, and then I moved to Cerritos. But later on in life, I became friends with all the Long Beach dudes. We had a crew called the 508 crew.
Sick.
That was kind of
was
a big,
that the
big
area
thing.
Code?
No, 508. Listen to this. This is funny about this story. 508 was, and it was a crew before me, but it was a huge crew. If I told you the skateboarders that were involved in that, it was a lot of big names.
Okay.
But 508 was the code for illegal skateboarding.
Oh,
in the Lakewood area.
Sick.
Yeah. So at least that's what was told. What was said. So yeah, 508 was like how they have a 187 is for the murder. Right, yeah. 508 was like, okay, these guys are illegal skateboarders, so they became a crew.
It sounds like back in the day when I was growing up, there used to be this local punk band, and they were called 594, which was the code for graffiti.
Oh, right.
So they call themselves 594.
That's awesome.
So I love all that. I feel like that's what related to that. So 508.
Yeah, no, and it was a big. I'm telling you, it was a big crew. We had there was some heavy hitters in that. Some pros, Long Beach. Yeah, you'd have to look into that a little bit more. But,
I'll probably get in touch with you so I can see if I can look up some videos.
Yeah. No, they're great videos. Lots of people were part of Danny Montoya. I'll just name a few. Danny Montoya, who you guys know. Yeah. Rob Gonzalez. Steve Sias, who his board's back out now, thank God. Yeah, just a lot of people from the Long Beach area. We grew up in that crew. But it was a huge crew.
Dope.
Skate, party, etc.
All right. Dope. How about nowadays? Who are you skating with now?
Anybody that is really down to skate. I really enjoy skating with people who are just having a good time. Yeah. And I know that sounds simple enough, but believe it or not, a lot of people maybe take the skateboarding very, very seriously, and that's cool.
Yeah.
To each their own.
Right.
I like to enjoy it like people maybe more my age.
Right. Right.
And they don't have to be my age. It's just what I found in my
like-minded people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like-minded people.
Right.
That's it. People that are having a good time. They're just it doesn't matter what you're doing. We could be skating curbs. We could be skating banks. We could be skating a skate park. If you're having a good time and the vibes are good.
Yeah.
I love that.
Dude.
I love that. I'll take that energy all day long.
For sure.
I can definitely relate to that because I've transitioned into that mode where I'm just like, people used to know how I skate, and they're like, why don't you skate like that anymore? I'm like, you know what? I don't find the fun in going out and being myself anymore. I just like going out, hanging out with a group of friends, and just like, hey, we're skating a curb today. I'm learning a new style of skating.
Because that's how we started.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We all started with going out with your friends, having a good time, and that's what kept you interested, right?
Yeah.
But somehow, somewhere down the line, we all kind of forget that. If we start taking it serious, trying to get sponsored, whatever happens.
Yeah.
It happens. It happens to everybody.
You can't land a trick.
It happens to everybody.
You freak out.
But the greatest thing is finding that again. I always say that is the greatest find, is to find that again.
Right.
You know what? Oh man, this is why I started skateboarding in the first place. Hanging out with my friends, having a good time, talking shit.
Yep.
You know, skating something mellow.
Yeah.
Or skating whatever. Whatever it is. Even if it's mellow or not mellow. It's just hanging out with your friends. A good vibe. A good vibe will conquer any day. You're like, man, you go home at the end of the day like, that was so rad.
Honestly, and I'm at that point where I'm just like, when I go skateboarding now, I'm just like, people tell me, you want me to film that? I'm just like, I don't care. You can film it or not, but I'm not going to try for the camera.
Try for you.
I'm just going to go out there and, you know, I don't want you to sit there for 3-4 hours filming me. I'm just like, I don't care. If you film it, you film it. If not, if I land it, I land it. Nah. I'm not going to go home sad. I'm just going to come out to have a good session.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. And that's what skateboarding really is. That's a true, what do we call it, the foundation, the roots, everything about skateboarding is all in what you just said.
Yeah.
And that's why I love it. That's why I love it. So to answer your question, I like to skateboard with people that are having a good time.
Yeah.
When the vibe is good, I can go home at the end of the day and say, man, that was a great day.
Yeah.
That was a great day. Yeah.
I did that yesterday.
That's cool.
I had a great day yesterday, and I don't even know. I don't remember a whole lot of what we did, but we just had fun.
That's right.
We saw some old friends, and
that's what's
I
up.
feel like nowadays it's like, film me the Instagram. We got our phones. Back in the day it was just like friends, skate. Like, you know, whoever had a camera just skate, have a montage.
It's like those days you go out and like the homie would just be like.
But you can tell when it didn't go good when like somebody's sitting there for 3 hours and they're like having a panic attack and you're like, and then everybody's vibes like. Just the vibes down. Yeah, the vibes are down. But like you said, if you want to just go out and have a good time and
see, and to each their own. To the people that are doing that are trying to like do it, trying to make it. You know,
it's all good.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's
cool. Keep doing that. You know, if that's what you want.
Right.
I think I want to go back and touch on something you said. You're like, I don't like that anymore. Or I don't feel like doing that anymore.
Right.
We all change in our lives. Every 5 years, it's been known.
Yeah.
Every 5 years,
somebody changes.
You change.
Yeah.
Your personality changes, no matter what. That's a statistic.
Well, I think it's the homie Sean Solomon said it the best. He said every 5 years is a decade in skateboarding years. So 5 years is a decade in skateboarding years. And I'm like, that sounds about right, because I've noticed every 5 years I change the way I skate.
And you have to evolve.
Yeah.
The saying is you evolve or you die.
Yeah.
Right? So evolution is necessary to progress.
For sure.
And I'm appreciative. You just have to recognize it. You have to recognize the evolution that you're evolving, and then you can appreciate it more. When you don't, you're like, well, I don't understand why I don't do this anymore, because you've changed, man.
Yeah.
You know, life has changed.
Yeah.
I don't understand why this isn't like this anymore, because you've changed.
You have to, and you got to accept the change.
You have to accept it,
Yeah.
because change is necessary,
and it's gonna happen no
Yeah,
matter
no
if
matter
you don't
what.
like it.
but you have to, if you acknowledge it and you understand it, you're like,
Right.
oh, okay. Like we're all changing, but if you say, okay, I'm changing for the good.
Oh yeah.
You know,
That's
now
the
I can
best.
appreciate this. I can appreciate that. You know, and I'm speaking for everybody.
And you said it right, because change is never bad, right? It's like you can still skate the same, but you're just learning a new way to skate and to enjoy it, to have fun with it.
Absolutely.
Your mind just is everything, man. If you know you're having a good time up here, everything's good.
And then you learn too. If you start skating with those dudes, like say you start skating with dudes who like to do curb sessions, you don't realize how much that applies to your when you go out on your hesh sesh.
Yeah.
It puts you on a whole nother level.
Absolutely.
When I learned how to skate transition, I never knew how much that boosted my confidence on the street. Where now I'm just like locking first try instead of like, well, I'm gonna baby it and tap it. Now I'm just like, well, it's like on transition. If I bail one time, it's gonna be the worst slam of my life. Now look at it. All right, just confidence.
Skateboarding will teach you many, many different lessons, whether you know it or not.
Yes.
Yeah. Whether you know it or not.
Whether you know it or not.
As a kid, you don't really understand it. You're just trying to get buck and get banging.
Yeah.
But as you get older, you start figuring out like the angles and everything you got to do, the geometry and.
But that's like regular life, though, right?
Yeah,
so like when you're young, like a kid, you don't understand. You know, like why did they do that? Why did they, drive to this place? Why do they eat this particular food? Or why do they like this certain thing? You don't know. You're a kid. You know, your brain is evolving. Again, going back to evolution. So just like with regular stuff, that's what happens in your skateboarding life too. You get older and you start figuring, start figuring things out, you know, in skateboarding. That's a great thing. So we get to evolve again. Going back to, I'm very prideful of skateboarding. You know, I love skateboarding. Skateboarding gave a lot to me, and I'm very thankful that I was able to do it. So, we evolve differently than a regular human,
for sure,
because we're going to evolve in two ways. Most people evolve in just their regular life. We evolve in our regular life plus our skateboarding life. So
that's the best.
Double awesome.
We are. Let's get into a dream trick. Maybe have you gotten all your dream tricks done yet?
Dream tricks. Well, I've done a lot of the tricks that I've wanted to do. That's I'm so thankful for that. But
that's awesome.
Of course, you know, there's a lot that that I've got away or I've wanted to do. Nowadays, I set more goals. Like I want to do this trick for this part at my age. You know?
Right.
I'm 45 now.
Okay.
And so to do a trick at this age in this body,
right?
You know, is a goal.
That's good.
So
goals
that's
to
the
have,
dream
though.
trick.
That's cool.
Anything that I can. I'm just thankful to roll away from stuff.
Yes.
It's a great thing.
I was doing a little dive on your Instagram, or I'm sorry, on your YouTube channel. Yeah. So I noticed that there are things that you do for like your birthdays, like when you turn 30, you turn 40. You do special things like that and make a little edit.
I try to make a part every year now. Again, that's something that I only started doing. I think my first one was 30. No, was it 40? I think I did it might have been 38. I did the first part. I did 38 tricks. 38 for 38. I did one of those. That was my first one. That's great. So now I just tried it. After that, like I've been trying to do one every year because that's a nice goal to do. Right. Is to have. All right, let's see if I can do it still.
Right.
You know, because again, I don't have the big parts that I have to put out. So I'm like, let's see if I could do one at this age. And you know, I always say it every year, and my friends always give me shit for it. Like, you say it every year.
Right.
I say I don't think I could do it next year. I don't know if I could do it. You know.
Yeah.
Because I put in a lot of work for these things. They said, well, why? I said, because it's a personal goal.
Right.
It's not for anybody else. It's for me.
Right.
I want to see if I can still do it. If I can still put out a part at 40, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44.
That's a goal.
Yeah, last year was my 45th birthday, and I got one coming up. This one I'm going to do a little different. This one I haven't put out any of my footage.
Okay.
You know, like I've been holding on. Because usually what I'll do is, whatever I get for the day, I'll put it out, on Instagram or some sort of social media platform. And then at the end of the year, I film for about 2 to 3 months.
Right. And
those 3 months, those will go to the part. But then I use all these different things throughout the year. So anything big now that I do, I don't mean big like jumping upstairs, but anything I want to save, I'm going to save for my birthday part, which happens in November.
That's cool.
That's a goal.
Hell yeah. How about, you mentioned you traveled places. Where are some of the places you've traveled to skate?
To skate?
Yeah.
All over the U.S. That was great. I've been to Australia.
Dope.
Let's see here. I haven't really been to too many places out of the country other than Canada, Australia. Been to Mexico.
Any places you want to travel to?
Yeah, everywhere.
Everywhere.
Who does right? Well, that's my big thing right now is traveling. I learned later on in life, which again, now I have the funds to do that.
Right.
Now I can go to these places because
that's right.
The people that I met and talked to in my life, and these are not just skateboarders that I've talked to like regular people. The ones that I see that seem to be the happiest are those who have traveled because their mentality is not just their bubble.
Right.
Like a lot of people think this is how life is. No, that's how life is in your world.
Right.
Go to somewhere else and see how life is. Experience that and then see if that's, but seeing different places, going, doing different things, that's what I see is important in life.
I believe that.
Traveling. Yeah. So that's why traveling is important to me because you get to see the different cultures. It's awesome. Different people.
Yes. Sir.
Experience different things.
Yeah,
experience.
Food, everything. Yeah.
That's what's great about traveling. It's experiencing different things.
Right.
So yes. So I want to go everywhere.
That's cool, man. That's cool. How about music? Do you listen to music while you're skateboarding or?
Never while I'm skateboarding, unless somebody has a boombox.
Boombox. Reason
why is I like to interact with everybody. Like I like that vibe. Again, we grew up when we had the boom box.
Right.
The Chad
And
Muska
yeah,
box.
the Chad Muska
The
box.
Chad Muska
I mean,
box.
this is a huge box, and like everybody gets to listen. So everybody is in
on
the same
page.
Same page. We're all vibing to the same music. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
When you have, and again, no offense to anybody who's got the headphones on, you know, it's wherever, but that's only for you.
Right.
You're not having that same session that everybody else has.
Right,
So when you
right.
have a boombox and you can still communicate, that's how I.
It's
grew up.
almost like just background music at the time. You know, everybody's
Yeah.
just chilling, just.
But it sets
know.
the mood. It sets a good mood.
It
So
does. It does.
sorry, you asked me what kind of music do I like. Do I listen to music while skateboarding? Only when the boombox is, but I like all types of music.
Dope.
Yeah, all types. You know, people.
I'm the same
You can't say I'm a hash. You can't say that I'm a hip hop dude.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even say that I'm a classic rock dude. I like it all.
That's cool. I remember a time when growing up, like it kind of wasn't accepted. Like you kind of
You had to go one or the other.
Yeah, and I was always the kid that was like, why? Like I like them both. Why can't I like them both? But it's almost like, but you dress this way, you're supposed to like this.
Yeah.
Who says?
Yeah,
But how many cholos and how many hashes dudes were listening to that music behind closed doors?
Well, they all were.
Exactly. Like you're like, well,
Yeah.
I dress one way, so I'm gonna listen to this in public.
Yeah.
But behind closed doors,
Yeah,
I
and
appreciate
then when their
hip-hop.
friends were gone, they put on their, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
all good.
you ever see the in the movie Harold and Kumar,
Yeah.
and then those dudes they're like, oh, these guys are posers. They listen to
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
and they dress like this.
Yeah, because they stole their truck, right? And all of a sudden the
right.
music was all like, they're like, what?
But no, behind closed doors, a lot of people listen to different shit. It's what you like,
Right.
You know, and music is definitely like that. It's
It'd
like art.
It'd
It
be
is.
great if that didn't have to be a thing. You know, it'd be great if you just be like, hey, I listened to a little bit of this. I listened to a little bit of that.
I think now it's more accepted, thankfully. You know, now it's like, oh, you like this? That's cool.
Yeah.
You know, you like.
Oh, a lot of stuff is accepted now.
Yeah, I'll go into places like again. I do my karaoke thing, and
that's so dope.
people assume I'm gonna go up there and like do hip hop, like rap songs.
Okay.
I'll do classic rock. I'll do Metallica.
Yeah.
You know, I sang a Danzig song.
Shit.
You know, I did all kinds of stuff. I do Iron. No, I don't. I've not done Iron Maiden, but I like Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden's a shit,
Yeah,
dude.
Iron Maiden is a shit. I've seen them perform twice.
They have the greatest stage show I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
Stage wise, like performance.
Oh yeah.
It's them and the Muse.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The Muse. Like,
Dude, when Eddie comes out.
Oh yeah.
Big old Eddie.
They got the big old fucking.
Yeah, so good.
Man.
Yeah.
I recommend anyone go watch an Iron Maiden show.
Yeah.
It'll be the best thing it'll be the best concert you've ever gone to.
All right. I'll have to check.
Guar too.
Guar is
Guar.
fucking sick.
Yeah.
I saw him at
Guar's a great
I saw him
show.
at Vans Warped Tour, and they did some crazy things I can't talk about on camera.
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
yeah,
Guar
yeah.
shows. Woo. Wear a
Yeah.
white T-shirt.
Yeah.
Wear a white T-shirt when you go to
Definitely.
Guar.
I'm sure because it's not. Yeah. You're gonna be white everywhere, right? I don't know. It's pretty sick, dude.
They do some
All right.
pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah,
right.
and then the costumes they come out with.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. Fantastic. I love that.
Yeah. Let's get into that because I always ask the people their hobbies, and since you mentioned karaoke, you did go to like a Monster Con yesterday or something like that.
Yeah, Monster Palooza.
Monster Palooza.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, that's sick.
Yeah,
So,
I really enjoy like these conventions that they have. I do a lot of those. So Monster Palooza, I do Comic Con, I do.
Sick.
I know it sounds whatever, people can say what they want about it, but
It's all
I enjoy
good.
it. I enjoy it.
Hey, I get backlash for that too.
Yeah, if you do what you want, whatever you enjoy, don't care what people say, and these things are fun.
Yes.
You know, like people don't know about them until they actually go to them, but people are always afraid of like, well, that's not cool. Well, says who? Says you?
Right?
Who are you to judge?
Yeah.
That stuff is cool.
Just because I mean they're not brave enough to wear a costume there, they're probably
Sure.
not going to go. You know, that's what I think. If somebody's brave enough to get dressed up,
Sure.
go into there and just be and have it and be themselves, because that's what I feel like they're doing.
Right.
You know, and most of
No,
those people
totally.
are there just going to be themselves, and most of them look forward all year to do one of
Absolutely.
those. You know what I mean? And
No, they're
there's
all
nothing
fans.
wrong with
That's
that.
it. We're just
Yeah.
fans. We're all. I mean, everybody's a fan of something, right? So
Exactly.
you know, you could be a sports fan. You go and you go what dress as a
I know.
Dodgers
You go
or
dress as
yeah,
Tom
you know,
Brady or
yeah,
something.
you got your favorite.
you know,
yeah,
you got basketball. You go dress
it's nothing
as
different
whatever.
than yeah.
So these guys, I mean, and it's
If I want to go as Popeye one day, I'll go as Popeye.
these events. They're it's just a bunch of fans showing appreciation for the things they're fans of.
That's dope.
And and there's stuff you could buy. But yes, I love doing that stuff. I go to
That's
all
rad.
these events. I go to anime events. I go to all the types of it. But I'll go to anything. I go to swap meets. I go to vintage shows. I go to
Collectible
art
stuff.
shows. I go to everything.
Dope.
That stuff I enjoy.
Yeah, because I noticed you had a big collectible of like Funkos, right? Is that what they're called? Funko
Yeah,
Pops?
Funko
Funko.
Pops?
But that is my daughter.
That's your
My
daughter? Okay.
I have my own.
Okay.
Because she got anything my daughter's into. I kind of
Yeah.
gradually,
You get into it a
like I
little
get into it too.
But you
because,
see, like me, I have one back here. It's a Dr. Green Thumb. It's
it's
up
oh,
here,
there he
everything.
is. Oh, Cypress Hill. Nice.
Cypress Hill, right?
Yeah, Peter Hill.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a fan of him.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not collecting all the Funkos.
Sure.
But like you said, like maybe your daughter loves to collect all
She
the
does.
ones that she does. But then you're gonna see somebody that you
Oh,
want,
I do. Yeah, I got.
and you're like, I gotta get this guy. This is
That's the greatest thing about Funko Pops too, and besides the fact that I met the creator of that, and
that's
he was
cool.
really cool, and really cool to my daughter.
That's the
but
best.
they have a Funko Pop for everything,
Right.
everybody,
right.
everybody.
Really?
I mean, if you think of somebody that you looked up to as
Oh,
far as
okay.
like a actor or,
Right, right.
or a cartoon or a music person,
Right.
there's
They'll have
probably a Funko Pop. of
That's
him.
cool.
That's what's great about that.
We need to get a skate show Funko Pop.
Ah, that's right.
You
I
can
was-
create one.
Really?
Yeah, you can. I don't know if they do it seasonally, but you can make your own Funko Pop.
Damn, that's
Of-
gonna
of
be
yourself.
That's gonna be done right away.
He's like,
As
wait,
soon
hold
as I
on, let
hear
me
about
take
it.
a quick
Yeah.
break and let's do it now.
Do they get permission?
Of
from
course.
artists?
No,
Yeah.
these ones
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to.
they
yeah.
have to. Yeah.
These ones are definitely the
Yeah.
rights.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
For
it's
sure.
a huge company.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Funko Pops are
Dude,
huge.
I mean,
They
you
have
can
everything.
find a Funko Pop for
Everybody.
I go to Frankenstein's and there's
Everything.
like there's stores where like I'm talking about walls of Funko Pops and I'm
Yeah.
like I can only imagine what you can find in there.
You can so
That's
you
rad.
can find something of everybody.
Man.
Baseball, basketball,
Right.
music, actor. I mean, I've
Dope.
got I've
Dope.
got them all. I got Sopranos. I got Seinfeld.
Oh, fuck. You got some
Yeah,
Soprano
Seinfeld-
ones? Sopranos
Seinfeld.
are the
Yeah,
badass
I
ones.
listen. I was so dedicated. I pre-ordered it like 5 months before.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I
that's-
waited
that's
patiently
pre-order,
for that
yeah.
thing to get to my house.
I get like that with certain things. Like
Yeah.
I just discovered Spider-Man 2099, which is the first Latino Spider-Man.
Oh wow!
Oh damn.
Yeah,
Nice.
he's the Spider-Man of the future. So
Nice.
after Peter Parker, and I was just
Yeah.
like, whoa,
Latino?
yeah, he's Latino. His name is Miguel.
Nice.
Oh,
His name is
Damn.
Miguel.
Hey, listen to this.
don't
So,
tell me he's selling elotes.
Did you guys know there was a Hispanic Snoopy?
No.
Really?
You guys-
Oh no, yeah. That
There
didn't
is-
they use him for the World Cup one time? And he was like a brown Snoopy.
Is he
Maybe.
brown?
Well,
Is he white still but
it-
Hispanic?
I remember when I was like 5 or 6, my uncle bought me like a Snoopy shirt, and he looked like Snoopy.
He looks like Snoopy, but
He's
it's his cousin.
yeah.
Oh
It's
shit.
his cousin. It's,
Yeah.
What's his name? Hang on, I forget his name. I'm gonna
gonna
get
have to look
I'm gonna
it
get
up.
shit for this, but my friend told me he comes out at Knott's Berry Farm every once in a while.
Wow.
It's Snoopy's cousin, God, and he looks like he's stoned too.
That's
It's like
sick.
he comes out like this. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's cool.
definitely gonna get that shirt.
And there's also what Speedy Gonzalez also has a cousin, Slopey or something like that.
Oh yeah,
he's
he's
slow.
like, ¿Cómo está?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He-
He comes out talking all super slow and
Yeah.
like he's baked as hell.
Dude, it's so somebody back there was a little
Yeah.
Hey,
stoned.
that's the
Yeah,
best. So
for sure.
I feel like this is what animation and illustration is missing. Like they're so set to now being politically correct. When
Mhm.
animation back then was just like
Right.
same as skateboarding. It was
Yeah.
the same as skateboarding. We're gonna make some crazy graphics.
Oh, yeah.
And just
Well, they
Put
can,
some
they can
things in
see
the
what they can get
background
away
that
with.
nobody
You know?
can touch.
that Looney Tune that they eliminated him because they canceled him
Which
because he
one?
was like showing too much sexual or whatever.
Oh,
yeah, Pepe Le
Oh,
Pew.
Pepe Le Pew!
Yeah.
Pepe Le
Man,
Pew!
that's where I learned how to I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe you're not
Hey,
supposed to do
baby.
that. Pepe Le Pew was nuts, man.
Yeah,
he was
he
a
was a
little-
straight rapist.
Yeah.
Hey, Mosheri.
Hey, well, I
Yeah,
mean,
we're talking about Pepe Le Pew, YouTube. Pepe Le Pew.
Pepe Le Pew
He's already-
was what taught you not to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
no, for real, dude. I learned what not to do. I was like,
Yeah.
man, this guy's
He's on.
He's a little too extra.
He's
he's,
too
he's
extra.
an extra on that. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You also had Johnny Bravo, which was too extra.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember Johnny Bravo.
Hey.
I know the name, but I don't remember what he
Same
did.
thing with him, but he was like the greaser version of like, hey, baby mama. Oh, and he'd always be slicking his hair back.
Sick. Sick. All right, let's talk about your shoe collection.
Oof.
Damn, I know you're a Nike guy.
I'm a good shoe guy, but Nike happens to make quite a lot of great colorways.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
You
before...
came in matching pretty sick today. Gotta say.
Well, listen to this. So, this is... I'm out of hand. I admit it, and I tell everybody, listen, I've got a problem. You know, I used to have...
The first step is admitting it.
That's it. I used to have a denim problem where I would buy jeans, and they were expensive jeans, and I'd buy 4 a week. I'm sorry, 4 a week. Excuse me. 1 a week. I'd buy Diesel jeans. This is when Diesel was big, and you know, these are $250 jeans. Okay. And my ex used to just rip me a new one. She's like, "What are you doing? Yeah. This could be money for the baby." And I'm like, "What? As long as I provide." But anyways, now it's shoes. But listen to this. Yeah. From the time that I went to, so I turned the shower on, right, to come here. Right. Okay, so I took all my clothes off to go in the shower. I bought shoes. In that time from taking off my clothes, I'm like, oh wait, I forgot I gotta buy some shoes.
Oh damn!
To go to I got the shower run, and I was like, oh yeah, I gotta buy these particular shoes. Yeah,
butt naked ordering shoes.
That's absurd. I admit I'm absurd. There's people always go, dude, you show them, because I show them off on social media. I show them off. It's just something I enjoy.
That's not as bad as someone drinking a beer in the shower. That's kind of something as an addiction, you know?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with the shower beer.
I know, it's like you're on vacation. What's the problem?
Sometimes it's like,
I used to do that.
Yeah. Every now and then you're just like, I haven't drank.
I might have done that this morning.
No, but I buy.
That's why we've had so many breaks today.
Yeah, I don't maybe want to on these, but I don't know. Do what you. No, but I do. You know, these sneakers, man, the colorways, they're
endless.
They're endless. Yeah. I would say, okay, I don't need any more. But then they come out with these new colors.
Damn, I got that shirt color right there. I need those.
I don't know. I think it's good to have something that you enjoy.
Of course.
Like I said, you know.
Yeah, you got to spoil yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
Dude, that's it. What's crazy, when America was popping, I did it with all the Spanky shoes, because Spanky always bought some crazy colorways. I remember I had these pumpkin-looking shoes because he brought out these black and orange shoes.
Black and orange is awesome.
Dude, black and orange.
I got a bunch of black and orange stuff.
Dude, those are the best Americas I ever skated. Yeah. And I regretted skating them because they were so comfortable and they looked sick. Dope. If I would have still had them to this day.
There's something about sneakers. I don't know what it is, man. Shoes. Yeah. I mean, because that's what you look down at.
Yeah, right? Especially when you're skating and stuff. Yeah. So
well, even right now, I'm wearing some limited edition Cappelinebrand. They're the Year of the Monkeys.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Okay. I only wear them to come out to do nice things, and I don't skate them.
No, shoes are... Yeah, that's...
And you know, skaters, we always look at another skater's shoes.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's always like, you kind of like sizing them up. You're like, let's see what you do.
Yeah, sometimes you do just do by, hey, what kind of shoes you wearing? Yeah. Do you skate? Let me see how many scuff marks you have on your
My daughter does that. My daughter, I was like, what? You became a shoe snob? She's like, look at his shoe, Dad. Yeah. He doesn't skate. I'm like,
no, don't. See, okay, if I have my boarder with me, you better see some scuff marks. But if I don't, I'm chilling. I'm wearing my chilling shoes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those are the shoes I'm not going to be scratching up.
Dude, when I used to go to school, I mean, fuck, I would have holes in my shoes.
Yeah.
Duct tape in my shoes.
Yeah, shoe glue. I remember the duct tape, until I discovered the glue stick. The glue stick in a lighter, you just light up the glue stick, melt it down, and you can get the perfect fucking coverage on your shoe.
They have shoe glue too.
Shoe glue. That was my thing. Shoe. When I found that, I was like, oh. Yeah.
I don't like shoe glue because it's too soft. It doesn't harden. When it dries out, it doesn't harden up enough. Right. If you do a glue stick, it hardens up, and then you just sit there and do a couple ollies for like the day. You do a day of ollies, and then it's soft. It like softens out perfect.
So there's a time where like I wasn't really like a shoe head or nothing like that, you know. Like I didn't know what's up with. I was just a skateboarder, didn't know what I was getting hooked up, what I was skating or whatever. I was just wanted to land a trick. So anyways, like a friend hooked me up with some Tiffany's, the shoes, baby blues, and like they had diamonds and everything. Like they were kind of brand new.
Those?
I skated them, and one of my friends, Gilly Nugs, he's a shoe head.
Yeah, I'm a shoe head.
Look at his reaction to you.
Oh my god!
My friend was sponsored by Nike, so he was getting hooked me up with shoes. So like I skated them, not knowing what it was. And then my friend Gilly Nugs was like, "Do you know what you're skating, bro? You're skating like some expensive ass shoes."
Dude, they're thousands of dollars right now.
Yeah.
Thousands of dollars. I have tried to buy them. I'm like, nope, I can't. I'm not going to spend that much.
Damn.
Thousands of dollars. I do have the high tops. But I'm not skating those. But the low tops. That's what you're skating?
I had the low tops.
Damn.
Like, dude, I shredded them. I had them
Look at
on
the
my
reaction
roll.
on his face.
You were sweating earlier, right? I'm sweating right now.
There's a lot of shoes that like I missed
Yeah.
them.
But I'm sure they look good though, right? When you were skating them.
man.
Well, dude, they look
I hope you got
awesome.
some clips in those.
I have a clip of the Mariachi Plaza where I did 180, fakey big spin heel
Damn,
flip
that
down
better
in
be
with
your
the
favorite
Tiffany's.
clip.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Damn.
man.
Oh.
I don't know if you can be my friend anymore.
I didn't know what I was skating.
That's crazy. But that's cool, man. More props to you. I see people skating those shoes that I want right now. Like they're dude. The one shoe that I wanted recently was the Jordan 4s. They were the first SB Jordans that they made. You saw those with the green? You should have been all over those.
Oh
They
yeah,
had the
yeah,
green in
yeah,
them.
yeah.
But I couldn't get them, and I'm not going to spend the money yet to get them. But damn, man, I really want those, and I see people skating. I'm like, I just want them to hang out in, man. Come on.
Yeah.
They're cool
You
looking.
gotta change that battery real quick.
How much is
No,
it?
it's in the memory card.
All right.
Oh.
Now, you were saying something also about sleeping. Like you have to have something. Let's talk about that.
Well, I have a. So what I've learned about people who have a sleep deficiency, our brains don't turn off, and my brain is always thinking of something.
Right.
So it's hard for me to sleep.
Are you thinking of tricks, or are you thinking
I'm
of
thinking
skating?
of everything.
Everything. It
Everything
just
in
doesn't
life.
shut
Yeah,
off?
my mind doesn't shut off because I do so many things, and again, not in a bragging way, but I enjoy experiencing a lot of things. For me, every second of the day is important.
Right.
I want to do something. You know, I don't want to just sit there and do nothing. I want to do something. So that's why I'll drive everywhere. Just as an example,
that, yeah.
yesterday I worked in the morning, and I only had like 4 hours of sleep.
Dang.
I went out the night before. I woke up early. I had to work. Then I had to. So yesterday was actually a little bit more mellow. But after work, then I met up with some friends in Orange County
Right.
to skate. I drove all over Orange County, drove home, and then I still went out in LA. That's yesterday. Friday, I worked. I woke up at 5 a.m., worked till 7, drove to Pasadena to go to the Monster Palooza.
Sick.
From Monster Palooza, I drove, and that's in Pasadena.
Right.
Okay, I drove from Irvine to Pasadena.
Wow.
And then from Pasadena, I drove back home to Lakewood, and then I went out at the House of Blues. That's Friday.
Yeah.
The night before,
Yeah.
I worked, I skated a little bit, and then I went to karaoke in downtown LA. This is the normal. I don't have days off.
I could tell.
Let me go back to your question. I do that a lot. I go on
No,
tangents.
it's all good.
But
That's what we do here.
so going back to my sleep deficiency, so I have a hard time sleeping because I want to do stuff too, and
Right.
because I'm so amped up. So when I do need to sleep, and I did this last night, I turn on. Actually, I do this every night.
Yeah.
I turn on my sleeping music.
Okay.
It's on YouTube. I don't have an app for it, but I just go to YouTube and I put sleeping sounds or sleeping music.
Right.
And it's usually like a good, because there's other people out there in the world that has the same
Right.
issue. And it's
So-
like 8 hours long
That's
of
dope.
just sleeping music, and it really does put me out.
That's cool.
It really does put me out.
That's cool because I mean my YouTube sometimes tells me, "Are you still listening?" Like I hate that little
Well,
reminder.
you have to find those things that are specific to, like
that was gonna stay on.
yeah, it's gonna stay on. Like
Right.
yeah, this one knows.
Yeah.
So it's like 8 hours, 6 hours, whatever
That's
it is,
dope.
but it knows. You just have to listen to
Yeah.
the commercial when
Ah.
it first comes on.
God,
Only in the beginning.
do you have to turn the sound down before you hear that commercial?
Yeah,
Otherwise you're
because
not
it would
gonna-
be late at night. Nobody, because not a sound in the whole house.
Mhm.
And as soon as that, I'm trying to go to sleep, and then, I'm like, hey, shit, I'm trying to go to sleep.
Your headphones.
What's
right over
going
there?
on? I'm just trying to sleep.
Yeah. They're trying to. Yeah. Exactly,
Yeah.
dude.
It's like when we're babies, bro, and we don't want to go to sleep. Our mom puts us a lullaby, whatever.
Yeah.
and, like,
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
That
I mean,
works, man.
I can relate to that because I stay so active. Like I sit there, I'm like, I gotta edit the podcast. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I gotta do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I go home and I'm like, the days I don't have anything to do, I'm just like,
Trust me.
I'm like, I need to do something.
Yeah,
I need to do something.
well,
but then
last
I was
night-
just like,
but
no,
that's
maybe I should go to sleep and get some rest.
Well, last night my brain wouldn't turn off either. I was like, I gotta interview the homie tomorrow. Like, I'm like thinking, what question is going on? Get your intro right.
But it's great.
You know?
It's great
Yeah.
to be busy, man. You know, like I talk to a lot of retired people. You know, and the people when after they retire, they some of them try to find something to do. Some of them don't, and they
Some
seem
of
so
them miserable.
depressed.
Yeah, they're miserable.
Yeah, they seem so depressed. But the ones that like
The ones stay active,
Yeah.
the ones that dance and they do the
they
thing.
do something.
Yeah,
you have to do something.
Yeah,
And so your brain
shuffleboard.
Your brain should
something.
be constantly thinking. That's why I say it's not a bad thing.
Mhm.
Some people don't sleep, and because your brain is constantly thinking of something to do.
Right,
And that's a great thing.
yeah. Me, I leave the TV on sometimes, but I
Yeah.
can't leave the sound on.
Uh,
But it has to. I mean, the sound's got to be really low, otherwise I'll keep paying
Right.
attention to it. You know what I mean? But
we all have
usually,
our remedies.
yeah, we all have our remedies.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I mean, I feel like myself, I need to do that. I need to stay busy because
Right.
my life feels boring.
Mm-hmm.
It feels boring without me having something to do.
do something to do.
Because I'm so used to just like
stay active.
no, I'm so
Stay
used to just skateboarding 24/7, and then now age comes into a factor where it's just
Sure.
like, here, I'm only gonna let you skate for so many hours before you're just like you're tired, and then now you're like, I'm used to skating 8 to 10 hours a day.
Right.
Now I can only skate 5 hours a day.
Right.
And as you get older, it depletes. It
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
lower and lower and lower because you either wake up sore or you wake up
But
tired.
if
You,
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 if
got,
you,
you can't let that.
you have
though.
to
Yeah.
get used to it. You
Yeah.
do have to get used to it. You know, I mean, I think I skated yesterday for 4 or 5 hours, straight.
It's a good time.
Yeah, but I had to get used to it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not something that comes. You know, so
Right.
and I know you have knee issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right now, my thing is, I have these two friends that I go biking with, Alex and Alan. I love them. They're the greatest. Because of them, my knee problems are getting less worse because we do 50-mile bike rides
Woo!
it's every other
Shout
month.
out.
Wow.
Every other month we go. They'll hit me up. Where are we bike riding tonight?
Yeah.
And then
Are
I
they
meet up with
skateboarders or just
No.
strictly
no
bikers?
one my friend Alan.
Uh-huh.
He's a old skateboarder. Well, he's
Okay.
not an old skateboarder. He's still a skateboarder.
But he's been skateboarding.
Dude.
Yeah.
He cosplays while he skateboards.
What?
I remember one time we did a Attack on Titan hand plant. We did Attack on Titan hand plant.
Nice.
He wore the
Nice.
cape and he hand planted. And I got a nice picture of
Awesome,
that.
man. That's awesome.
But yeah,
Awesome.
he's the greatest dude. We sit there. We go bike ride. We bike ride somewhere to go eat, and then we do let's sidetrack and take the longest way home. So we'll
Nice.
end up doing about like 40 to 50 mile bike rides.
That's crazy.
That's helping with your knee.
Yeah, it's helping me
great.
a lot.
Yeah.
Like I slowly feel the progression. It's because I'm not attacking it aggressively where it's like work, and then I'm sore. It's just like every other two weekends out of the month. And then now, even on my personal time, I go out on maybe during the week. I'll be like, I'm gonna go do a 10-mile bike ride around my neighborhood.
It's awesome. Yeah, that stuff is good for your knees for sure.
Yeah.
It's low impact. It's really low
Yeah.
impact.
No. Most people
Yeah.
when they're rehabilitating their knees, bicycle riding, they tell me is the way to
Yeah.
go. That's what I
I
do.
wouldn't mind having
Yeah.
like a stationary bike.
Yeah, that's good too.
You know what I mean?
But biking on the outside is fun.
Oh, dude.
yeah. I would. Yeah, you could find
but
some
you're right,
spots
though.
too.
And yeah,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean?
That's
So-
why a lot of skateboarders.
I'm just
ride
kidding.
bike.
For me, that doesn't bike ride, I go 25 miles out. Guess what? I got to go 25 miles back in now. I'm like,
But,
damn.
but
you
it
know,
makes you.
Yeah, you got a choice.
It pushes to another level of like I know my endurance now.
And I'm sure
Yeah.
you have to have the right type of bike.
Yeah,
and
no,
everything, you know?
totally.
Yeah.
I have a beach cruiser, man.
Yeah, so-
I used to love beach cruising, just
Oh.
cruise around the city. I'm like, this is cool.
See,
I'm like
I'm
Debo.
Yeah, there you go. There
yeah,
you
see,
go.
I'm riding
can
a
relate
road.
to
I'm
that.
riding a road bike. So I'm
Oh, yeah,
riding,
yeah,
I'm
so
riding
you
on a
got-
road bike. So like,
Yeah.
I'm sitting there. I'm just like, how far can I go?
Yeah.
How far can I go, and how good of a view can I get somewhere?
But see, so that's something new, right, to you?
Yes,
It's awesome,
Yeah.
isn't it?
and I love it.
Something new.
It's
that's
like
awesome.
skateboarding because like, I'm like, how far can I push myself? How
See-
far?
see
Just
how-
like in skateboarding.
It always goes back to skateboarding. We always relate
It's in
everything back to
skateboarding. Like, how far can I push myself?
I'm telling you,
It's
I
pretty
try
crazy.
to tell parents, skateboarding is an awesome thing. I
I know.
look at it as a
Yeah.
as just whatever however you view it, if it's in any negative fashion, skateboarding is a very positive and impactful thing for
and
for
if
your life.
it doesn't look like it's positive for your kid or right now, it will be later on, because he's going to take all those lessons that he's not even knowing that he's learning at that moment.
The biggest one, and I say this every single time, and I'm sure most people have said this, but biggest lesson learned is falling down and picking yourself back up. Nobody's going to pick you up. You have to do it yourself.
Exactly.
And you have to do it a lot of times in skateboarding.
Yes, sir.
Another one's never giving up.
Never giving up.
Just seeing that vision of you landing it and wanting to land it.
Yeah.
Relentless.
Like that. You seen that Seinfeld when he was talking about it? He's like, I like those kids. You see them skaters? He's like, they fall down.
That was the greatest thing I ever saw from Jerry.
Yeah. I was like, wow, that was.
Jerry's got our back.
Yeah, Jerry got our back.
Jerry. That's it. We're tagging Jerry in this episode.
and if you don't see Superman in the background, it's me. No, I'm just kidding.
Super ski show.
Super show.
Let's go. Hell yeah. All right. Well, I did kind of want to bring up this too. Also, do you still do your Fridays at Venice Beach? Skating curves?
Unfortunately not, because I took a job in Irvine now.
Oh, and, so it's not in your route?
I work that job. They need me there early in the morning, and I don't usually leave till late at night.
Oh.
And because of that, it's in the wrong direction.
Right.
So I used to, when I was doing that, and I was doing that every Friday, and I'd see you there sometimes.
Yeah, I've been there.
That was rad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would take off a little earlier from work because I worked from home. Thank God for the pandemic for a little bit. I got to work
in the best way, everybody. In the best way.
Yeah, only for that reason.
Right.
But
everything was open.
I was going every Friday for at least 2 years. Every single Friday.
Yeah.
And I might still try to get. I'm gonna figure it out once they allow me to start working from home again.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna try to figure out where I have to be with the company for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But I'll be able to work from home, and then I'll just take off on early on Friday, as long as I'm from home.
Right.
Because it's a 40-minute drive from my house.
Okay.
Shit.
So if I drive from Irvine to there, that's a 2-hour drive for sure.
For sure.
It's 405 all the way down.
I know. Ugh,
I don't even know if it's gonna be 2. It might be more.
Yeah. That's a horrible freeway on a Friday.
Terrible.
Yeah. But that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So I become more of a weekend warrior now for skateboarding.
It's all good as long as you're still getting on that board and clicking that tail, man.
Yeah. Well, I still do my Thursdays.
Yep.
People don't know I do my Thursdays, but I do Thursday, Thrashing Thursday.
Thrashing Thursdays.
Yeah, and I'll hit the curb. There's a double-sided curb in LA that I can go at late at night and nobody messes with you.
Damn.
Yeah.
Those late night sessions, you won't catch me do that.
Most people don't.
No.
But most people are like, dude, I'm sleeping by then. I said, yeah, I'm skating by then.
I get it where I can. Shut off, people. You gotta do something.
I might have to hit you up to meet you because I like skating at night.
Yeah.
I'm living off that Kurt chart. The Kurt chart life.
Dude, yeah.
Night sessions with generators all night long. No one fucks with you.
Jeff Lenosi, he made a part of just skating at night.
Yeah.
No security, nothing downtown.
Oh,
yeah,
that's the best.
I go to downtown all the time.
Is he lighting up the places, or he's just?
Well, that's the only way you can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta bring a little Jenny. Well, I mean, with the
yeah. I mean, if you want to get down, but if you just want to do it old school style and push around and then find a spot. That's cool too.
Yeah. So you skated downtown too at night, or
Oh yeah.
You take generators or
no. This is usually so we had a whole Thrashing Thursday crew where it's like, these guys are all going out every Thursday and skating around like before, how we were talking about on the buses and stuff. But we would drive down there and then park our car and then just go spot to spot to spot, whatever's lit up.
That's so sick. I love that shit.
It's the greatest thing.
That's the best.
But as time progressed, people got things to do, kids, to feed, whatever.
Yeah.
So now it's just me. But that's my relief.
Dude, I feel like I'm in the same boat too, because I've never had kids, but the people that I grew up with, they all got busy. The
life gets in the way.
And
not get in the way. Life happens.
Wrong with that.
Life happens.
Right.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
But like I said earlier, those people were the ones that say, "You still skateboarding?" you're still doing that? And I'm like, yeah, I'm still doing that.
So,
when are you going to go?
You know what I always say to that? Oh, you mean I'm still having fun?
Oh, yeah.
I'm still enjoying myself?
Yeah.
Still doing what I love?
And I'm not in your boat. I'm sorry, what did I say? No, you don't know, but
Well,
nothing
against
that.
The best answer to give to that would be like, well, just
Yeah.
stop asking questions and join me.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like that saying Jay Adams said, like,
Oh yeah.
you didn't get old because you quit skateboarding. You got old because you didn't quit skateboarding because you got old.
You got old because you quit skateboarding.
Yeah.
It's true. I say
Yeah.
this. I say that same thing.
I feel
all the
like
time.
skateboarding does keep us young, man.
It does.
I swear. Like,
Look at the people that are doing it.
I know.
They don't look
their age. I swear.
truly look at somebody who's like 40 or 50 that doesn't
For
skateboard.
example.
They look
their age.
40 or 50.
Yeah.
Maybe even
Look
older.
at a skateboarder
depending,
that's 40 or 50. Like, dude, who's Chris Markovich? I don't know if you guys know.
Yeah.
I know Chris
I know.
Markovich.
Yeah.
Chris Markovich is 50.
Yeah.
He does not look 50.
Yeah.
Day one is 48, I think.
Dude, Daywan looks like he's still in his
yeah.
early 20s.
Yeah.
Dude, they
people-
want solid.
Skateboarding,
too.
and here's one thing that I always promote. Skateboarding is the true fountain of youth.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
The real fountain of youth. People say,
Yes.
is there a fountain of youth? Yes, there is.
Oh, yes.
So-
It is a skateboard.
So I'll
Yes,
tell you
it
this. I did a test. I have an Apple Watch, right?
Mhm.
It gives me all these different exercises, like, bike riding, doing this, and how you burn calories, right? And they finally put this one called Open Skateboarding. It skateboarding burns the most calories
Sure.
than anything else you can do. I've
That's
done
it.
20-mile bike rides, and I won't burn more calories in an hour skate session. In an hour
Yeah.
skate session, I can burn about 1,000 to 1,200
And you're
calories.
That's
enjoying
it.
every
Yeah.
second
Yeah.
of it.
And I didn't even know I was doing that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best part about it. You don't even
You're
realize.
enjoying it. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it, dude. Skateboarding.
Yep.
Like,
You don't even realize you're keeping yourself
go
young
back
by
to saying it's the
having
best
fun.
ever.
We need to get the masses to understand.
Yes.
Step on a skateboard and learn to
Yep.
have fun.
Like,
Yep.
for example, like some of my friends are 31 my age, but they have kids and everything. Like me, I'm 31, no kids, but I'm still jumping off stairs. Thank
Yeah.
God. But them, they're like, nah, I can't do that. Like, I'm 31. I'm like, dude, that
Yes, you
doesn't
can.
matter.
Yeah,
You know?
it doesn't
It's
matter.
just mentality wise.
It's mentality. It's all mentality.
Yeah.
No, but I bet you they.
I'll give it to
I
him.
bet
He's
you they
blessed
can
with no
carry a
injuries.
child.
No heavy injuries.
You know, I bet you they can hold their
I
child for like
did,
8
right.
hours, but
Yeah.
I couldn't hold a kid. You know what I mean? Like, you know how sometimes you see those
Yeah,
parents
yeah.
that could just, they don't even get tired because they're holding their kids.
They
so
got
long.
mommy and daddy strength.
Exactly. They have a different kind of skill, than
Yeah.
us. You know what I mean? It's like I said, nothing wrong with that. But like I said, dude, best saying ever, fountain of youth for real.
It's a fountain of youth. It's a true fountain of youth.
Shout out to that, man.
I mean,
for real.
Even the parents that I know that are skateboarders, I feel like they're more stronger than parents who aren't skateboarders.
Sure.
Like, I see these dudes that was like, and it's crazy because over time, eventually their children follow right along because they don't force them into them. They're not like, hey, look, your dad does this, but whatever you want to do, let's go take you to do whatever you want to do. But at the end of the day, they're like, dude, all of a sudden my kid just wanted to step on a skateboard. I've had so many homies tell me that.
Me. So my daughter doesn't live with me. My
Yeah.
daughter lives with mom. She grew up in like the Rancho Cucamonga, IE area.
Yeah.
And I never pushed skateboarding on her ever.
Right.
And she wanted to skateboard. She chose that.
Right.
That was her choice.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, Dad, can I get a skateboard? I was
Oh,
in the
damn.
car faster than you could.
Yeah. You're like, you know how long I've been waiting for
Here we
that
go.
question?
Yeah, exactly.
Every dad's dream, right?
No.
And I'm not kidding you. I never pushed it because I said if
You're
she
like,
wants
I already
to do
have
it,
your board in the
she
trunk. I'm
wanna
on my
do
way.
it. Yeah. And even now, like again, she still lives with mom, and she lives a little further. I'm not going to disclose where she lives, but she lives further.
Yeah.
And she's still like her desire to skateboard and to look up skateboarding and all that stuff. That's all her.
Yeah.
And I never ever pushed skateboarding on her.
Yeah, because
And it just-
a lot of times it doesn't work that way.
Yeah,
You know
well,
what I mean?
that's nobody wants to do really what they were forced to do.
Right.
Does your daughter know your history in skateboarding? Does she know you're a skateboarder legend?
Well, thank you for that. But she does know. She's come to realize when I know a lot of people.
Yeah.
And
you get she sees the people give
me those types of props, and
that's rad.
So she's like,
damn, maybe my daddy.
And
is,
she looks at the videos and sees again just
right.
She understands.
Yeah.
But she's
rad.
definitely Yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but
Yeah.
a lot. Well, here I want to tell this story.
Go
I
for it.
don't think I've told this story on
Okay.
a podcast yet,
Okay.
but one of my greatest achievements, one of the many things.
Right.
I took my daughter to San Diego, and we were looking for something to do in San Diego, and there was a thing called punk rock and paintbrushes, something like that. But
That
it was a
sounds
big.
cool
It was an event. It was an
Yeah.
event for. It was they were selling art, and it was punk rockers, but also like art stuff. But anyways, Matt Hensley, Christian Asoy, Steve Caballero, a couple of people were there signing autographs, right?
Right.
Christian Asoy, legend, of
Yeah,
course,
of course.
and somebody I grew up looking up to.
Right.
And I always consider myself like a regular fan and like just a fan of skateboarding, and these guys are still my idols, no matter what, no matter if I know them or not.
Right.
But and Christian, who I've just met through skating at the Vans Park, but briefly, I
Right.
I know him. Again, we've had some history together. But anyways, so my daughter says, "Oh, can we go to that, Dad?" I go, "Sure, of course."
Yeah.
So we went to that, and she was excited to get the autographs and stuff. And Christian sees me, he's
Yeah.
over there. He's like, "Yo, what up, Ron?"
Yeah.
Gives me a hug, and,
Yeah.
and it says to my daughter, "Your dad is a phenomenal skateboarder." I was
Yeah.
like,
Oh, sick.
That is the greatest thing you do.
Yeah. Sick.
Christian Asoy was one of my idols growing up, and again, legendary guy. If you guys haven't seen his video,
Dude,
or his
I
movie.
love
Oh, yeah.
Christian Asoy. All day long, bones, fucking Anno Chin. We can name videos all day.
Well, he was the
Christ,
he was
Jared.
the guy.
He was
in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. He was the fashion god at the
He
time.
was the guy. He was. There was Tony Hawk and there was Christian Asoy.
Right.
And
They-
everybody wanted to be one or the other.
Right.
They were equal to each other.
Yeah,
pretty
It
much.
should have been Christian Asoy pro skateboarder, but he found a different track.
Right, he
and
went
then
on a
Tony
different
Hawk
track.
took
Yeah.
over.
But to have that happen in my life, again, going from it's just like somebody who. It might as well have been like Bruce Lee or Jimi Hendrix saying, "Man, your dad can really play the guitar." That's insane. Or Bruce Lee would like, "Hey, your dad is really good at martial arts."
Yeah.
That's insane to me.
Right.
Again, I'm no matter what. In the end, I'm still a skateboard fan, and for him to say that in front of my daughter, I was like, I was blown. I was like, my day is good.
Sick.
Or like anytime Ray Barbie likes my photos or my
Oh.
whatever,
Yeah.
because Ray Barbie's my favorite skateboarder too.
Sick. Oh, he's
I
so
was like,
good. Yeah.
dude. Or yesterday I went skating with Willie Santos.
Yeah.
Willie was one of my childhood favorite skateboarders
For
because he's
sure.
Filipino. And now he's like a good friend. I used to stay at his house, and
Sick.
he's texting me like, "Hey man, you gonna come down to skate today?"
Yeah,
I'm still a fan.
Yeah.
I don't care if I've known him for a long time or not, but
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
you have to be a fan
Of course.
of your friends.
Oh yeah.
I'm fans
yeah.
of all you guys.
Thank you.
Right?
We're
Thank
fans
you,
of you, man.
man.
We're definitely fans of you.
I'm
For
fans
sure.
of everyone in the skateboard world.
You're damn
If you
right.
skateboard,
Yeah.
I'm a fan of you.
Hell yeah, man. That's fucking rad, dude. I love it. It's everything, especially getting some recognition from somebody like a peer of yours that's a little bit higher, and then and for your daughter to hear that.
Oh yeah, that was it. That's why I was
That's-
like, "This is
that's
insane."
everything.
That was,
Yeah.
and I forget there was a reason why I got to that, but there was I think you said achievement or something. What did you ask me? What was the question?
Well, I mean, I don't remember, but
But either way, that was my highest one of the highest achievements in skateboarding.
Okay.
Is to be recognized
Yes.
by somebody of that caliber.
Right.
Christian Asoy.
That's
Bless you,
rad.
Christian. That's awesome.
Shout out to him.
Shout
man.
out to
mean,
Christian.
It's like this for us, me and Lee story now. It's like we grew up with you. Like we didn't know who you were, but then it's
Tell
like,
me that story.
oh,
Tell
dude.
the people on the
Did
social
we cover
media
it?
that
Did we
story.
cover
Did
it?
we?
No, we vaguely covered it. It wasn't
Okay.
it wasn't fully covered.
All right.
So
I had to hear the story again. I was like, wow.
so
That's
so
amazing.
so how this goes is like I'm probably like 15. This is like 2005 for me. We live 15 minutes from the Nissan dealer.
Mm-hmm.
And I had, the
Ponteos Mall.
Ponteos Nissan dealer, because we live on Amor and Azusa, and my homies were like, "Hey, we know this guy at the Nissan dealer who sells $15 boards," and we're like, "What? $15 boards over $30 boards?"
And we're 15. We're
Yeah.
broke. We don't have no money. You know.
Yeah.
We're
So
we're
trying
lucky
to
we're
find
getting
the
like
deals.
lunch money because your parent at the time $20 for lunch money was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then I was like, dude, if I save my lunch money, I can buy a board a week.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there and we're just like, my homie's like, if you go to the Nissan dealer, you walk into the receptionist desk and just be like, ask for Ron Resurreccion.
Yeah.
So I remember the first time I went, I was like, I feel stupid because Ron Resurreccion. Are you guys playing games with me?
Yeah.
I don't think that, it doesn't sound like a real person. Like maybe
it's like Bart Simpson joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, hey.
So I go in there and I remember I was like, hey, I'm looking for Ron Resurreccion. And I'm a little kid walking into a car dealer. I'm a little kid walking into a car dealer. Walking.
Yeah.
Not even that.
Someone here to buy a car, Ron?
And I'm like, and then all of a sudden he rolls up and a suit and tie. What's up, man? Oh, I'm here to buy a board. Oh, yeah, follow me. Follow me. Takes us to his car, and then he pops his trunk up. And then he shows me a bunch of boards up. Which one you want?
Rad.
And I'm just like, dude, this one looks the best. Boom,
Yeah.
$15.
Yeah.
After that, we all go right across the street to the Nissan Gap, and we start getting our session. We're like, dude, no way, I just got a fucking sick-ass, fresh board. Maybe like 1 or 2 slide marks on it. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, all right, I can get a full session. And those boards will last us like 2-3 weeks.
Sick.
Dude, I remember like buying like a bunch. Like we'll meet up at the loading dock right there on Jack in the Box, Amor and Azusa, and they're like, "Yeah, man, we're just about to go buy some boards right here around like at the Nissan." I was like, "Wow, where at?" By the Nissan Gap. I was like, "Dude, I want to buy some boards." So we all rode by a group, you know. But like they'll be like, "Hey, man, like you guys wait for us right here because he can't have a lot of people like rolling up to the dealership, you know." So it's like
it's
not
so
good.
funny. I hear these stories all the time because I've been selling stuff for a while. Just. That's what sponsored skateboarders do. Like we gotta hustle a little bit, make some money.
Right.
But I would hear stories like that all the time, and I'm so thankful that you guys tell me that story because I don't know like what happens after. I just know you guys came by to buy some boards, and that's awesome. And you guys
they're
all
still skating, and they're still on their board.
Yeah. And here we are again in a room together. And
you probably didn't even know we knew each other, right?
I had no idea.
Right?
I had no idea you guys knew each other.
Dude,
right? No clue.
And we knew each other already. So
the trivia part 2 is even this. When I found him on Instagram, I think right away the moment I found you, I sent your message. I was like, dude, I used to buy boards off of you off of the Nissan dealer.
So crazy.
And I was like, I'm so fucking high.
You're like, yeah, he knows me.
No, I didn't. Again, I'm always appreciative.
You're like, I must have been selling boards. I don't know.
I would just hear your name, not know who you are or anything, because we didn't have no social media or anything. Like back in the day when I was buying, I just knew like my friend was like, just give me your money, I'll come back. You guys wait right here.
That's so rad.
That's
awesome.
I remember, and it was like that for us because we were like, don't bring too many people in because we're not trying to burn the spot out.
Right.
We're not trying to burn the spot out or get him in trouble.
Yeah.
But we would I remember we'd go to the back of the trunk of your car and you just had like a stack of boards and they'd be like, you guys take your pick. And we just kind of go through it and be like, I want this one.
Yeah.
Dude,
people used to come to my house when I lived in Lakewood when I was a teenager and just come buy boards. And just random people. And it's rad.
Yeah.
I was happy to sell stuff.
Dude.
Man, they would get hooked up too, though, because going back to some of the shoes, I was, selling shoes that I didn't want or whatever, and
like
I need some.
Or which one? No.
Yeah, I can say it now because DVS is out of business, but I would sell some of the shoes, and they would get hooked up because I would sell them for $15.
Damn.
That's cheap.
Yeah.
I didn't know that at the time. But I'm like, hey man, I don't need much. $15 gets me like lunch for like 4 days.
Yeah.
So I was good.
Right.
Hey, well, I got one thing to tell you. Thank you. You don't know how much.
I know.
You don't know how much you push our skate careers.
That's awesome.
Like,
I love that.
We instead of we're sitting here going from buying $30 boards to $15 boards. It's like we're getting 2 boards a week.
That's awesome.
You're
we went from getting one board every 2 weeks to getting 2 boards a week.
Yeah.
That's awesome, and I'm so appreciative of that because again that's nowadays, and that's when I think I was like at the tail end of my second sponsored skateboarder guy or whatever career. I don't know what you want to call it, but anyways, so now like when I see people out there and like I see a busted board, I mean I just try to give them the boards when I can. And I've got a ton.
Honestly, I think that kind of passed on to me because now like I have a good job and everything, and I can buy boards. So whenever like there's days where I'm just like I'm gonna take my board off, and I see the kid at the park with the busted board, and I'm like, hey man, here.
Do you know what that? Yeah, you see what it does to, like for just you guys.
Yeah.
Like look what that will do for that kid.
Yeah.
And that's something. I've had people come back. You gave me a board once.
Yeah.
And I was like, I did? They're like, yeah.
I've had that happen to me on occasion, man. Like, like 10 years ago, you gave me a board. I was like, did I? I was like,
it's impactful.
In my head, I'm like, maybe I don't remember 10 years ago, but I'm glad I helped you.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I've started people skateboarding because of the board that I gave them, you know, and that's awesome.
Well, like I said earlier, before my brother when they started skating, it's because I skated before, and I already had some of the stuff outside.
Yeah.
So when they came down, like, he was like, my brother already has all this stuff made. Like,
yeah.
It was just all old and needed to be repaired, and they weren't making the repairs it needed. And then, you know, and then shout out to the homie Ruben out there, man. I mean, he knows that. He's like, man, thank you for skateboarding and showing me the way. I'm like, dude, nah, it's all good. Like, I was just being what older people were doing to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Showing me the way and
that's
shit.
It, and so let's stamp that on the video there.
Yeah, for sure.
Is, you know, pay it forward, you know, and do good, because there's going to be people you're going to impact for the future.
And you're going to show them how to pave
them
somebody
how
else's
to do it. Yeah,
way.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Everybody here has done that in this room, and
that's
and
right.
hopefully people will learn and do that for other people, because again, you know, let's get back to skateboarding, because skateboarding gave us so much.
You're damn right.
Exactly.
It does, man.
That's
and if you don't think skateboarding gives you anything, you need when you get older, you'll realize it does. For sure. All the friends you have, everybody you meet, you know, everything that's kind of like, I mean, people start their own brands in skateboarding. I don't know anybody that, you know, like, I go golfing every once in a while.
Yeah.
I don't think I can make a golf brand and have a support like I do with skateboarders.
Speaking of brands,
let's
there's a
talk
skateboard
about
down
your
there,
brand.
right?
Yes,
Somewhere.
I want to get into that before we get into that.
Speaking of brands,
Yes, let's talk about it.
hey, let's show the back of this first. 'cause
Okay.
It has the name.
Yes, sir.
So I didn't know we were going to be on camera today, and so I didn't bring any blank boards, or not blank, but I didn't bring any boards that weren't together.
Right.
So, and this board is the only one that I had in the car that wasn't all scratched up. This is my rail board, but I have a street board too with no rails. But this is my brand.
That is one of my
Cappeline.
favorite boards.
Cappeline?
Yeah, Cappelline.
Dang. Yeah.
Is one of your favorite boards?
You do have a website.
I love the Shining.
See? Yep,
Yeah.
that's it. There's a Shining carpet, so if you love the Shining, I still have a few of these left. Go to Cappeline.com, spelled like this.
Yes.
C-A-P-P. Yep, C-A-P-P-E-L-I-N-E.
Hey, put one aside for me. I'm gonna have to use some money for one.
There you go.
Dude, seriously, yeah. And one of the ones I like, the ones, what's it called? Fast Times at Ridgemont
Oh, yeah,
High.
that was my most popular.
Spicoli?
Yeah.
That was my most popular.
The girl coming out of the pool.
Yeah. That was by far the most popular series that I had. People still hit me up about that.
Is it sold out already?
Yeah, it's been sold out. Yeah, for
a long time.
Yeah, but I did 3 reissues.
Sick.
Because
it was so popular.
I need that board, and I'm like, okay.
Takes me back.
Yeah. No, people, they still like it. They'll hit me up sporadically, like, hey, did you get any more Lindas? I go, I'm not gonna make that one anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Fast Times is one of the greatest movies I ever watched. I remember I watched it in my older age.
It totally is.
And I was just like, dude, this is like the perfect parody movie to everything.
Yeah. And that's why I do it. So, to give you an idea of what the brand is about, it's not a skateboard brand. I try to tell people this, you know, I make skateboards.
Right.
It's originally a hat brand that I started in 2007. Yeah. Right. But what happened in 2019, I had this vehicle, Cappeline. I'm like, well, I can do whatever I want, really. Mm-hmm. So, and I've always wanted to make skateboards. So I go, let me do a few skateboards, paying homage to some of my favorite movies.
Dope.
And I go, I always want to do something that people would enjoy. Right. So something that people would be like, I remember that. Yeah. That's awesome. I gotta get that. So the first boards that I did.
One too.
What is that?
The Goonies one was pretty sick.
Yes. See that's what I'm saying. See, people, they appreciate it. Right. So the first boards that I did, though, I did a in Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure.
Oh yeah.
Large March.
Large March.
People love that. And I try to do characters that aren't like the main characters, but something that people will remember. Right. So I did Large Marge, and then from Beetlejuice, I did the Headhunter.
Sick. Remember the Headhunter ones? That one was sick.
People loved it. So I'm like, whew, I think I got something here. Yeah. And not because, I want to make money on it, because, I have my own job. Actually, sometimes I end up just either breaking even or whatever on the money. So it's not about the money. It's about like doing something that I enjoy,
cool. Yeah.
And presenting the world with, things that they could also enjoy.
Right.
So I've done I called that one the Tim Burton series because they're both Tim Burton movies.
Right.
Then I did the Goonies series after
Right.
that. That one flew.
Oh,
I mean,
sick.
2 weeks.
Sick.
Boards sold out. I revamped it, or I did a re-up.
Yeah.
Another 2 weeks.
Dang.
Sold out, which
That's
is
right.
crazy.
Yeah.
So a lot of these. So again, with the Shining, I still have some of these left. I did this one, and I had the Grady Girls, which is the twins.
Yeah.
People loved all that. So and I got a new series that I'm working on.
I've seen something with a bunch of horror people on it.
That one was my newest.
Let's put this over here.
The latest. That one wasn't a series. That one was more something I wanted to try, which is a mashup.
Yeah.
So it's a mashup between all the what do you want to call them? The most popular like horror
Right.
Characters.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like
villains or
Jason,
something. Yeah.
Jason, Freddy Krueger, Chucky, Leatherface.
Sick.
I think am I missing one? But it's a mashup between Breakfast Club,
Yeah.
and the horror people.
Yeah, because they're laid down the same way, right? They're
Oh,
all
they're-
sitting.
they're-
They're in the
that's
same
the scene.
pose, right?
That's the same scene,
Yeah.
but with the with the
That's
horror.
funny,
So I
yeah.
wanted to do a mashup, something that nobody's. I'm sorry, in this particular thing,
Right,
I've never
hasn't
seen
done.
a Breakfast Club with
Yeah.
with the horror people.
That's dope.
So
That's
no.
Cool.
So please support my brand.
Yes, go check it out, everybody.
Definitely support.
Yes, definitely. All right.
Goes to a good cause.
All right.
Making more boards.
That's cool. And so we're almost getting out of here. Do you guys have any questions before we get out of here?
Well,
man.
I just had the Nissan question, but that was answered.
Yes.
The great
Well,
Nissan story.
Here's something too funny about that. So you mentioned you went to the receptionist, and I don't know around what time you went to that, but the receptionist, and I can say this now, but the receptionist was the mother of my kid.
Oh wow.
No way.
Yeah. Well, she wasn't the full-time receptionist, but she went back.
You may have
and
asked for him.
We may have asked her.
Yeah,
Baby
I
mama.
think there must have been a time, especially if this was
That's
2005.
Yeah.
That was definitely the baby mama because she went back because that was right before I had my daughter because my daughter was born in 2006.
Okay.
So that was right around the time when we started.
Yeah,
dating.
I remember So there's two things. Either I'd go to the receptionist, or if I didn't know if you were working that day because I didn't want to take the bus, I'd call Nissan and be like, "Hey, is Ron Resurreccion
Yeah, I
there?"
remember this. No, you would
Yeah.
talk to me too, and they're like, "Yeah, hold
Yeah.
on," and so I was
Yeah.
like, "Hey, you gonna be there? I want to buy some boards."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I remember.
That was me.
That's
That was
so
me.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
so
Because
rad.
I looked at it like this. Do I want to take the bus
Yeah,
out there and
risk
risk it
it?
that he's not there? Or I have the phone book,
Yeah.
and that's at the time phone books.
Right.
They said-
phone book.
No cell phones. Just
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just landline and be like, "Yo, can I speak to Ron Resurreccion? Oh, he's not in today.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. No, I'm not gonna waste the trip. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna waste $4 or $5 to get out there on the bus."
Yeah.
I want to touch also on the resurrection thing because
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a funny story, and I might have told this story a few times, but people don't believe that's my real last name.
Okay.
They really don't. That's my real last name. It's on my birth certificate.
That's
I've got
crazy.
family it's spelled a little different. It's spelled
Right.
Resurreccion,
Yeah.
but I just pronounce it Resurrection.
Right.
So, quick story. I ran into a friend of mine in Venice, and I've known this guy for probably 20-something years, right?
Mhm.
And he's like, "Hey, man, let me get your number again, and we'll go skate." I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And he's typing in my name and my number, right? And he starts giggling. And he shows me the phone. He's like, "Do you still go by this?"
Oh yeah.
I go, "Go by that. That's my real fucking name."
Yeah.
You thought it was a nickname the whole time? He's like,
Yeah.
"Dude, I thought it was a nickname the whole time."
Yeah.
I go, "That's my real name, dude."
Yeah.
But I've had multiple people tell me that. They thought it was a nickname.
Do,
Well,
I go,
do
"No, that's
people
my-
think your last name would be Cappeline then? Maybe sometimes.
No,
Okay.
Yeah, and thank you for pronouncing it right. It is
Yes.
pronounced Cappeline. But no, and people don't know where that name came from. But
Okay.
there's a meaning behind it. But
Yeah.
Cappeline just sounded cool. But also,
you were selling
it means,
caps too, right?
well, no, it's
Oh.
not. That's not the reason.
Oh,
But
okay.
it worked. That worked too.
Okay.
That worked too.
Yeah.
But no, if you look it up, it's actually a medieval hat. It is from medieval times. When people would get injured, they would put this on their head.
Sick.
Yeah, and so there's a
keep their brains from falling out.
Right. And so, but also, yeah, it was. When I saw some of the definitions, it came down to a modern day hat.
Sick.
I'm like, perfect.
That's perfect.
But I just added an extra P because it looked better.
Yeah.
And to make it my own.
Right.
Yeah, because if I use the regular, the real word is Capeline. Capeline.
So
I added one more P.
That's how I was saying it. I thought it was Cape Line.
Yeah, most people they'll say Capeline, Cappellini, because they're like, is it Italian?
Where do you get the leaning from? Must be
Tone
Italian.
the wind. I don't know where you're getting that from, but yeah,
must be Italian. Cappellini.
Yeah. That's what I'm like. Where are they coming up with Cappellini?
Yeah.
Capelline, Capeline. I've heard it all. So, but Capelline is how you pronounce it.
Shout out to that, man. Go visit that website, please.
Please do.
And support the homie over here.
Support skateboarding.
Support skateboarding. That's what we got to do out here. Before we get out of here, we do have a little crazy question. We like people to pick from the bowl. Sometimes we don't know. We don't know what you might get, but it could be off the wall.
I didn't know this. Look at this.
Yeah, where the locals skate. You know what I mean?
Let's see here.
I like how he's so intense. What's he gonna get today?
Dinosaur.
I hope it's a new one. I hope it's not one we've had in the past. Let's see what we get.
I like
you got it.
All right, so it says if you have $1 million, what are you buying?
Woo!
Well, that is a new one.
Besides shoes, Jesus, because we already know that.
All right. So if I had $1 million, what would I be buying? Well, first and foremost, I would take care of my daughter. I got a car. I got to buy her a car.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming up soon. But no, if I had $1 million, take care of family first. Family first. Get them what they need. Make sure they're taken care of. Put it aside.
Let's get to the real question. What are you splurging on?
Okay, what am I splurging on? Well, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna ask me about that, but I do want to make sure that family.
Family's taken care of.
Families first.
I'm not taking
families taken care of.
Yeah. That's dope.
Shit, I'm buying myself a nice little house now.
Yeah, there we go.
No, I would buy myself a nice house, but because that's a good investment.
Exactly.
I'm into investing now.
I wouldn't blame you. I'd do the same thing.
Yeah, put more, but I also I would take that money and start a new company.
Yes.
Something that I would make
more money
on.
Yes.
Because a lot of people, what they do is they blow their money on.
Which most
silly.
answers would have been from somebody maybe I buy a Lamborghini, I'm gonna go to Vegas.
I know better now. I don't. What I learned in my 20s when you guys met me was investing in things that I'm not going to use later on is a terrible investment.
Yeah.
I mean, I bought all these. I talked about my denim problem.
Yeah.
You know what those jeans do for me? These $250 jeans do for me nothing.
Right.
They do absolutely nothing for me. So what I learned from that experience was put the money into something that is going to make you happy and continue to make you happy, but also put it into something that could possibly make you more money.
Right.
And again, I'm not a money guy. I don't.
Right.
I learned a long time ago it's not about money; it's about happiness. But if you are going to spend the money on something, invest it into something that could make you more of it.
Yes,
sir. Don't blow it.
It's like investing into something that you're not gonna have to work as hard to make that money back.
Right. I mean,
exactly.
Because at the end of the day, if you blow all that money, like, what do you have to show for it?
Exactly.
Have something to show for it.
And then you got people going, "What happened?"
No, that's true. I've known plenty of people that made $1 million, and they don't have that $1 million anymore.
It could happen.
They barely have any. So that's
it could happen.
There's a skateboarder. I'm not going to name names, but he won the lottery.
Oh.
Won $1 million.
Wow.
Blew it in a year.
Yeah.
I think I know who.
That's one thing.
I know somebody like that.
I can give credit to my stepdad. He's my stepdad, not my real dad.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for him that he showed me how to keep myself financially stable.
That's good.
He showed me how to keep making sure that my money keeps
working for itself. Yeah.
You know how many people in life have just blown it? I mean, these people I'll name because I don't know them personally, but MC Hammer, man.
Yeah.
I went to MC Hammer's house. He had this ridiculous house, okay? It's MC Hammer in the front, or Hammer Time. I'm sorry, Hammer Time in front.
Sick.
This guy was making like ridiculous money in the '80s, right?
Yeah.
And he just blew it.
He blew it.
He blew it.
He had the
biggest, buy this.
He has the biggest entourage that anybody ever seen, and
there's a lot, and that's just one example.
Yeah,
there's also Shaq. Shaq had a problem.
Shaq, everybody. Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage had to do a bunch of crazy, crappy movies
tax stuff, and
just
to pay off his shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So invest in something that will make.
Like I said, my pops just finally told me, he's like, dude, you don't need a fancy car.
Yeah.
If you're gonna make money, buy a decent house.
Sure.
Have a decent car, a Toyota.
Sure.
Sorry, I'm a Toyota head.
Yeah.
And he's all like, the rest of it, enjoy life.
Enjoy life.
Enjoy life.
You know what? Spend money on traveling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because there really is no price tag on that. Because you pay for it. It's going to be, whatever. It seemed expensive at first, but the memories, the experiences that you're going to have last forever.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what you should.
It's like me. I decided for my first time, now that I'm making a decent wage and I can afford to enjoy myself, this July coming up, I'm taking the train up to Oakland. I'm taking the train, so I'm riding the train for a whole day. I'm spending a whole 24 hours in the train, but I can only imagine the great views I'm going to see along the coastline.
Train is fun to travel by.
And then I got a hotel right in front of the beachfront, and I was like, you know what? I worked the whole year to enjoy this.
To enjoy it.
Yeah. And then I'm going to go to a 2-day concert.
Yeah.
And then I have friends in San Fran. So I'm going to be like, the rest of the week I'm going to be skating. I'm going to hit these guys up and just be skating with them.
See that?
I don't think I could have asked for...
That is a great investment.
I don't think I could this sound... compared to my old birthdays where I used to be like, I want to go to a gig, get fucked up, and then I don't remember my birthday.
What do you have to show for it?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Now I'm like...
Pissed it away.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm going to go out here, skate with these dudes. They're going to take me to skate spots in a city I've never been to.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. That's memory.
Shout out to that.
Great investment.
That's what's up.
Create memories.
I'm looking
not debt.
Yeah. I like that. And we can leave it at that for now. We'll create memories and not debt.
Yes. And it's going to be I think this is going to be the greatest... For my 33rd birthday, it's going to be the greatest birthday I've ever had.
There you go. And it's only going to get better from here.
Shout out. Ron, I want to thank you for coming in, dude. It's been a great day, man. I tell you, man. These guys are excited. They're seeing their hero and stuff coming in today.
It's an honor to actually meet the person I was buying boards off of when I first started skateboarding.
Thank you guys for buying boards.
It's crazy that we didn't know who you were at the time. Now that we know who you are, it's like, it's cool how humble you were at the time. And like, till this day, you're still humble. And then like,
cool.
Even the day we came back to like, hey, we used to buy boards off of you, you're still cool about it, man.
Nice.
That's it.
That's
what it's all about.
You gotta stay humble.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, stay humble.
You have any shout outs before we get out of here?
Plenty.
Yes, I'm sure you do.
Shoot them out.
Well, first of all, I want to shout you guys out for inviting me, and thank you guys for having me on the show.
For sure.
But definitely shout out to my daughter, Mackenzie.
Shout
out to my family. Shout out to all the skateboarders out there in the world. Shout out to those who came by to buy skateboards or buy anything from me or appreciate anything that I did. But definitely want to send some shout outs to those who still hook me up. So
for sure.
Let's first off shout out Vern Laird at Bones Bearings.
Shout out Vern,
keeping me rolling quickly.
Yes,
Bones
sir.
Wheels, Ace Trucks, Jason Rothmeyer at New Balance, Spencer Fujimoto at El Senor, Jacob who does Shalom Clothing, who still keeps me dressed pretty. Nice. My friends in Hawaii who I don't ride for information, but they take care of me when I'm out there in Hawaii. Thank you. Shout out, aloha.
Aloha.
Let's see, what other sponsors do I have? Well, of course, the number one, Cappeline. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys for all who've supported Cappeline. I appreciate
Thank you, everybody.
That. I mean, again, it's very meaningful for me, for anybody who supported. I mean, I've been able to meet a lot of people through that, and people from all over the world have bought stuff. So that's awesome.
That is awesome.
At the end of the day, creating something, your idea, and people to
actually want to purchase
appreciate it. Yeah. And that's great. You know, it's I showed the world what I wanted to show them, and they appreciated that,
and they wanted to
support. They want to support. I love that.
I love that too, man.
And that's why, and what I do too, and everyone should do this. If you want if you want your friends' brands to flourish, support them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't ask them for free stuff.
Mm-mm.
You know, try your best not to ask them for discounts if you could. You know, again, I understand we need discounts if we can.
Yeah, supporting skateboarders, right?
You know, if they're going to give it to you, great. But if it's something that you appreciate and respect, or any brand at that, you know, support them.
Right.
You want them to survive. You know, if we kept giving out free stuff, how could we survive?
Exactly.
You know, that's why a lot of companies went out of business, is because
it's too much free
stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of skaters too that just want free stuff.
Talk about the 90s,
support
right?
Skate Show.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying?
Thank you. Support. You know, make sure to support the show. You know.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
What's your YouTube channel? You got a YouTube?
I do have a YouTube channel. I don't remember the name, but look up Ron Resurreccion.
Ron
Spelled
Resurreccion.
correctly. Hopefully you guys will write it.
Does it say like head brand or something like that? Or
maybe it's Cappelinebrand or Cappeline Headwear.
Headwear.
Yeah.
I believe.
Follow me on social media. RONREZ Cappelinebrand.
Underscore Cappelinebrand.
Yeah. Or follow Cappelinebrand.
And we'll make sure to leave all the links in the description below. So make sure to check that out. Listo, you have any shout outs before we get out of here?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Ron, man. Like finally meeting you and stuff once again. And you know, thank you for everything you've done for skateboarding and hooking up the youth, you know.
For
back
sure.
in my day, back in 2005 when I first started skating.
So rad. That's such a rad story.
Shout out to the podcast Where the Locals Sk8.
Yeah, Where the Locals Sk8. Thank you, guys.
My family and my sponsors, everybody supporting me. My friends, Peralta, getting down.
Great skateboarder. Great skateboarder. All you guys, great skateboarders, man. That's sick.
Peralta?
Same thing, you know. Thank you, Ron. I've been wanting to have you on for the longest time. You did a lot.
We made it happen.
Yes,
we made it happen. I told you I would when I can.
Everything,
yeah, I know. We talked about it a couple of times, and we finally linked up.
Yeah.
I mean,
it happened.
I'm finally grateful because you played a big part in my upcoming skateboarding and getting me to where I came.
That's so sick.
I'm very thankful for that, dude. Like, I appreciate I appreciate you a lot, man.
Awesome.
We're gonna support, always gonna support, and
yes, sir.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love that.
There's no more visuals because we filled up the memory cards. You'll hear this in the audio.
Yes.
We filled up 3 memory cards. We filled up 3 memory cards on our side.
That's my fault. I talk a lot.
That's fine, dude. It's gonna make it a great episode.
It's gonna be a great episode.
I'm just finally glad to have you on because
yes, sir.
You did a lot for my skate career.
It's awesome.
Like all our homies on our team. I mean, if they're not
Tell
here,
them all I said hi.
Yeah,
dude, they'll all be grateful for you because we all used to go to all of Team Fuck It would go to to Nissan just to pick up boards off of you.
Yeah.
I remember one day you guys did bring a whole squad. I'm like, holy shit.
We were 20 deep. Yeah. Our team was 20 deep.
Dude, for real, dude. These guys came to the dealership.
All 20 of them walking in.
And so, like, you know, everyone's like, ooh, I'm going to make sales. Like, nope, that's for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sales.
Yeah.
You guys.
He probably made more sales than the car dealers because he was selling boards and cars.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Shout out to that.
Dude, so I would say for any car dealer sales out there who still skate and you got boards, sell them.
Yeah.
Do the same thing Ron did because you never knew whose life you're going to
impact, dude.
Yeah. All right. Again, thank you for coming in. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Make sure to hit that all notification bell so you know when we're doing our thing. Hit that like button, please. It really helps us out. Leave us a comment, question, or suggestion in the comment section. If you know someone or you want to be on our show, hit us up in the DMs on Instagram, or you can email us at wherethelocalsk8@gmail.com. I am OG Skate Show. Till next time, peace.